could be with anyone, you're here with me. You're here with me. You could be around me.
You could be with anyone, and I could be with anyone. You're here with me. You're here with me.
Hey, what's going on, people? How's everybody doing? Welcome to the show. Another Speakpipe extravaganza. Make sure you guys hit me with a 1. If you can see me, you can hear me. I see we got Rosemont Harris. Drop that 1. Natalie Greenwood. Appreciate you guys. Already. All right. Just got to make sure that I can be seen and heard. Sometimes my audio is a little fun. Tries to play games with my emotions. Try to make me trip out. Yeah, we don't have a lot of calls tonight, so it won't be super long. But we're going to make it interesting either way. Megatron in the house. What's going on? How's everything going? Let me just make sure I got my stuff up. Okay. Yeah, we're good to go. All right. Yeah, big shout out to Kat, the medical lab rat. Sister fan. Appreciate your message. Awesome. Thank you. So give you a shout out. Yeah, we got some folks here. Make sure everybody hit the like. Why not hit that like? Yeah, we're gonna be talking about some of the sister wife stuff. You know what? I spent a little time trying to get caught up with the like Hunt for Love and all that. That show is a 90 Day Fiance spinoff. That show is hard as hell to watch as a grown folk. Grown folk are gonna struggle trying to watch that show. I'm telling you. Because I was watching that show and it's like high school. It is, I wouldn't even say it's like high school. It's actually more like grade school because the stuff they worried about on that show is kind of like their storylines were things that I wouldn't even worry about in high school. Like it never would even, like if somebody were to come to me and say half the stuff that's supposed to be the big storyline on that show, I would completely ignore that whole situation. Like, you know what I mean? Like one of the big storylines right now is the one young lady, Jen. There's a young lady named Jen, right? She's from I think Colombia. And she has the whole stereotypical Latin lover vibe about her, like, oh, she's so sexy because she's foreign and weird and exotic, and that's what makes her beautiful, and she's the hottest one here because she stands there and she rolls R's and stuff, and it drives them crazy, right? And I get it, I guess, to a point, I get it, but it is weird because she comes in. Everybody's like, she's so important, she's so great, she's so wonderful. One of the guys is like chasing after like a little puppy, and he's like, they've all known each other supposedly by this time by like 3 weeks. This dude is telling other people that they can't talk to her. Red flag extravaganza. Then you have a bunch of the other ladies who are kind of jealous of the young girl Jen getting people. They're all telling her that she should be nicer to this guy and be careful about this guy. One young lady, Tiffany, who's also a 90 Day Fiance cast member, basically said to her, yeah, he comes over to my room, he knocks on the door, and he just sits and complains about all the stuff you're doing to him, so you got to treat him better. And the one girl, Jen, said exactly what I was thinking. You need boundaries, lady. That's not on Jen. If dude keeps coming over to your room bothering you about what's going on with the girl across the way, and you are there at a singles resort trying to pick up people, homeboy, get your shit together. Obviously, this ride is too big for you because you got to be this big to ride this ride. And you walking around like on your kindergarten. So you can't mess with this young lady. She's too advanced. She's way too advanced for my man. So they have the whole thing. Oh, I think she's sleeping with this guy. Oh, she's sleeping with that guy. My thing has always been, and I never understood this. I never understood guys who had the privilege of spending special time with a young lady and running back telling everybody that this is what they're doing. Now, part of the reason why I'm bringing that up is because, and then of course there's another young lady who's trying to push herself out into the forefront, and she keeps insisting that there's all these rumors about her sleeping with this boy. I'm calling him a boy, but this dude that she didn't sleep with, and who's told spread these rumors about him? Who gives a shit? Who cares? The more you feed into it, the angrier you get. And every time you're in a room with somebody, you keep bringing it up. You're the one keeping it alive. This is what you learn in grade school. Don't worry about who's sleeping with who. But the whole thing of like everybody running back, telling people who they messing with and who's doing what, I was never that guy. Because a quick way for you to stop getting it is for you to run your mouth about getting it. Like that's the fastest way for you to stop getting it. And I say all that to say this: when Kody came out and he buried his big revelation that he was sleeping with this one and that one in high school and talk about his sexual exploits, grown folks, I won't even say grown folks, because even younger people don't want their business in the street. If you're hanging out with somebody and you're giving them that special time, why would you go back and tell that? It doesn't matter. Like what importance is it for everybody to know who you spending time with and what y'all doing? It's none of their damn business. And then when they that's what I'm waiting for on this 90-day fiance hunt for love crap. When they come at you and you're at a singles weekend thing, a singles event, you're there to meet people, there to, pursue your relationships however you pursue your relationships. Do your thing. And in some cases, would it make sense for you to kind of hold off on jumping right in bed with people? Yeah, that would make sense. If you are trying specifically to create an environment where you could have a long-term, meaningful relationship. However, grown folk understand that when you go to a singles weekend, you show up to a bar, you show up to a club, you go to church and meet somebody. I'm gonna go over there and get some wine and maybe some of them crackers. You want anything? Okay. All right. Praise the Lord. Like you understand that when you doing whatever it is you're doing, not everybody is there for the same thing. Not everybody sees. If I say that I want to have a commitment with somebody or a relationship with somebody, or we're going to be committed to each other, that involves a conversation. That has to be a conversation. We have to understand, and there has to be a meeting of the minds on what I think a committed relationship looks like. But James, a committed relationship means that you don't see anybody else. That's what I would think. However, that's not everybody's understanding. Some people think that a committed relationship, eating ain't cheating, sucking ain't bucket. If you understand what I'm saying. They don't, and this is actually a legitimate conversation I've had with somebody. Like, ain't you married? And then she was talking about how she had hooked up with this dude and they'd done some things. Like, ain't you married? Oh, well, yeah, bop, 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 bop. Yeah, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. But see, that's not a thing in my relationships. But in her relationship, that was totally a thing. Her husband understood exactly what that was. As long as they were allowed to round third, as long as nobody made it home. You know what I mean? And he was okay with it. So you have to have those conversations. But those conversations are between you and the person that you're spending your time with. It's nobody else's business who you kicking up for. It's none of their business. I don't understand that show. I'm watching that show. I'm like, this is crazy. I wouldn't even entertain this. You have people demanding to know who the other people are sleeping with. You have to tell me what your TLC out of control. TLC out of control. Right? And even with Kody and him talking about hooking up, I'm a little weary of that prospect, just from the respect of it's not fair to the other person whom he's going to cite, because TLC is one of it's like a snowball to an avalanche, because they'll start off, they'll get a little taste with Cody saying or implying that he had relations with somebody in college. Then at some point later on down the line, they're going to push him and prod him, and if becomes normalized enough, he's going to have to give dude's name up. I mean, I'm sorry, he's going to have to give the young lady's name up who he's supposed to hook up with in college. See what I did there? But he gonna have to give up the person that he hooked up with. And if you drop her or his or their name, right, it's not fair to them, because they don't have the platform to respond or say, look, it was just a one-time thing, or not everybody look. I come from a different time. I come from a time before everybody had a damn camera in their pocket, before everybody was walking around with video recorders. You go out, do your dirt. You know what I mean? And whatever you did, it gets buried in the sands of time. I'm going to say I like that. Whatever I did in the past when I was coming up was buried in the sands of time. Like, nobody, you had to remember the shit, okay? That was your camera. You had the mental camera. Click, you didn't have what they have now, which is crazy. What is this? I just looked over, saw a message. Am I going to read Christine's book? Yes, I am going to read Christine's book. And you know what? I'm a little leery of doing a right out the box review of the book as a book club, because that's how a player gets sued. And I don't know how litigious, like TLC isn't crazy litigious, but I could see where Christine might be. Not saying that she would do it. I'm just saying that, like, it's not just on Christine, though. It's not just her decision, because if she's signed to a publisher, the publisher might say, Christine might be fine with YouTubers, myself included, getting the book and then talking about the book on air and like reading excerpts and stuff. She might be fine with it. The publisher might not be, though. And the publisher's the one who put out the, cut that big ass check in the beginning. Good for you, Christine. That's the way to do it. She doing it. Christine doing it the way you should have did it. And good for her. You know what I mean? Good for Christine. Because at the end of the day, if you really sit down and think about it, especially with the other cast members, Christine has put herself as the groundbreaker in the family. She put herself as the groundbreaker of the family, because she was the first to leave, and that she was already a popular character on the show. But when she left, that sent her to the next level. And here's the thing, if she does it again, the next level. And by doing it again, I'm talking about this tell-all book. It's basically a tell-all book, right? All the things that they didn't talk about during the course of the tell-all. Christine is filling the gaps of the show. TLC has been dropping the ball, because TLC is about 2 years behind, right? On the happenings of the Brown family. Christine about to bring it all the way up. All the way up. Okay? And she's going to say it the way she want to say it, how she wants to say it. Now, we'll get into like some of the rumor mill with our special guest Tanya Carter. She left a few speak pipes, and unfortunately, she was the only one who left speak pipes this week. Well, we did have a special speak pipe. Appreciate it. But that's just a message for me. But but she's right kind of on point with some of the things. But with regard to, like I said, with like Hunt for Love, part of the reason why I bring Hunt for Love up too isn't just the fact that it's pushing Kody to reveal the person or people that he might have been, doing his thing with. But it shows the levels that TLC is willing to go to. And I think that, with Christine's status and where she is, I don't know how much more she's going to be willing to participate in Sister Wives moving forward. And that's where it gets really, it gets really precarious because I don't think she's going to turn her back on making money or getting that check. But if they're asking her to do things that she doesn't necessarily feel comfortable with, which seems like the trajectory that TLC is on, I'm not sure how much she's willing to do. You understand what I mean? Like Christine, like it or love it, even though she's on a reality show, Christine has a relatively new marriage. You understand what I mean? And this is where I say that it meets, like, reality shows kind of meet, the rubber meets the road, because I wouldn't want to be in a situation where you are so worried about being on a reality show that you ruin your relationship, you ruin your marriage. And like it or not, reality shows are rampant with destroying relationships and marriages. You have people like go through most of the shows that have been on, like Real Housewives of like early on, Real Housewives of Jersey, Georgia, Atlanta. What's the other one? Orange County. Like those are the OG ones. And then all the spinoffs. But if you look at those shows, you had women who were married to their husbands for like 30 years, 40 years, 20, 30, 40 years, right? And they're on the show for one season. And by like season 2 and 3, most of them, if not all of them, are filing for divorce or being left, or the relationships are falling apart. And it's not necessarily because the relationships were dog water before they started filming a reality show. It's just that once you put your life under the heat of so much observation and opinion and people in your business, that creates crazy stress within your relationship and can cost you a relationship. So when I'm looking at Christine, Christine seems very happy with her relationship. So she has to be, she has to be careful. We have some super chats. Let me check these. Becky S, $10 super chat. Hi, James in chat. Hello, Becky S. How are you? Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Let me give you a little something. All right, Becky S. Oh, that's cute. I like her. Your icon. It's awesome. KM Gilbertson. KM, what's going on? How you doing? $20 super chat. What? Could be worse. Could be caught with a married mistress at a Coldplay concert. Yeah, new news. Did you hear that the guy, the husband who was caught at the Coldplay? For those who don't know, or maybe not familiar, not sure what I'm talking about, there was a Coldplay is a band from the UK band, very popular. They were doing a show in a stadium, thousands, tens of thousands of people, right? They playing a thing. They had the kiss cam going around the audience, right? And then it falls on this one couple. You probably seen the meme where the two of them were all hugged up, listening to the music, all up in the throes of passion and love. Then all of a sudden they realized it was on a kiss cam. Dude's like, oh, and he dropped down under the apron of the balcony, and then she turns her back to the camera. And the lead singer from Coldplay said either they're really shy, we caught somebody cheating. He was right. They were shy because they were cheating. And as it turns out, like his wife, both of them had to resign from the job. Like apparently he was a CEO of a $1 billion company. She was the HR manager. Both of them had to resign their positions. Then they turn around, and they were served divorce papers. He's like, his wife wants $33 million up off top. And if she can't get that, she wants half of his business. Like, what? Homegirl is not playing. She is not playing. And I also, like, not to be an ass, but when I was looking at the photos of everything, like just on the surface, I don't know their personalities. Like the HR manager, she could be dope. But the CEO's wife, at least in the pictures, was a very attractive woman. So that just goes to show, like, I know it's an age-old adage that, it doesn't matter what you look like. Looks have nothing to do with it on why people cheat. They always, cheaters always try to put it on you as to why they messing up. Oh, girl, if you was doing this, if you went to the gym 4 times a week, oh, Barbara Sue, she loved going to the gym to get her washboard abs correct. Oh, she's so good in the bedroom. Oh, she make the most delicious salads ever. All the dumb shit that people say when they cheating, doing the wrong thing, and talking about how you could have improved it and made it better and kept me at home if you would have did the right thing. That's all bullshit. Because this woman that he was cheating on, one, she's a very good looking woman. Very good looking woman. Two, clearly she's not stupid, because when you gave her the goddamn golden ticket, pardon me, Lord. When you gave her the golden ticket, she stepped clean out of that marriage. She said, "Thank you," and took her lottery ticket right to her divorce attorney's office and said, "We got his ass. Get him." And that's that. I mean, his whole thing is a wrap. Now, here's what I was trying to get to. This jackhead, the CEO man, it's my understanding that he is threatening the lead singer of Coldplay, and Coldplay is a band, with a lawsuit. Good luck, buddy. There's no way. You have zero chance of getting paid. You have zero chance. There's no way. In order for you to get any type of money or compensation, he would have to establish that the lead singer from Coldplay maliciously and intentionally sought him out to embarrass and humiliate him and to create distress in his life. Like this, like the standards are so ridiculous. Not to mention, when you enter most venues, when you enter into a venue, they have signs posted around, especially for concerts, baseball games, sporting events. They have signs everywhere that say that you are being recorded. That you're being recorded. When you go to a baseball game or anything, you understand that the kiss cam is a thing. When I say kiss cam, there wasn't one person, I don't think, who wrote in the chat, "What's a kiss cam? What is that? What are you speaking of?" Nobody says that. Nobody says that. Right? So you got caught because you're a jackhead. You're a jackass. You got caught. You was doing the wrong thing. You got caught. You got your hand slapped. Now you're trying to find somebody else and blame somebody else. It's somebody else's fault. It's not your fault. This is part of the reason why I suspect why your relationship fell apart. Because you can't take responsibility for your own shit. You did that. You made the decision. And that's not, oops, my fault, slip, mistake, accident. You made a dang on decision. And this is what I also talk about all the time. It's very rare that you would find a scenario where you could say, yeah, things just happened so fast. And before I knew it, I made a bad choice. Usually, in my opinion, when you get caught cheating, or when you're cheating, it's a series of decisions, series of bad choices that you're making that lead you to the point where you find yourself in a bad situation. It's not one choice. Oh, I decided to sleep with her. You had to decide to go pick her ass up. Like at some point, somebody had to decide to get the dang on tickets. You had to look for and find something that you both would want to do, or if it just came up, you said, instead of you saying, "Oh, look, Coldplay is in town, let me ask my wife if she wants to go." most likely you said, "Oh, look, Coldplay's in town. I'm gonna have, the way these rich people do it. I'm gonna have the business expense it, and then I'm gonna call it a work thing, and I'm gonna write it off because the rich people ain't stupid. They ain't cheap either." So, you know, but I love the fact that he got busted. That shit is awesome. Now here's the messed up part. Here's the messed up part. Oh, I'm suing him. You're in public, ass. If everybody can see you, you can't sue. You can film in public. But here's my favorite part. And I will back this up 100%. He could have easily got away with it. He could have easily got away with it. What do you mean, James? How could he have gotten away with it? If they wouldn't have reacted, if she just would have looked up and kissed him, they wave, or they just wave, he takes his arms off of her. They just stand there and wave. No fuss, no muss. Wouldn't even have been a thing. Nobody would have forwarded. Nobody would have thought twice about it. You know how many kiss cams they do? You know what I mean? During sports season, baseball's playing, they got the kiss cam rolling. When basketball kick up, they had a kiss cam rolling. Football kick up, kiss cam, soccer, concerts. Nobody. When was the last time you saw a kiss cam? Unless somebody does something uniquely different. Like I think off top, I remember 3 kiss cams. This one, because it's most recent. There was a little boy who was pointing, like a volleyball player. Woman was pointing at the little boy, and she was dancing. She did like this to the little boy, and then he pointed back, and then all of a sudden he ripped his shirt up and he started, gyrating or whatever, and it was crazy. I remember that one. And there's also one where I guess I remember a couple. A person was singing, or they were doing a rock song, and the creature was singing a rock song, and the guy got up and he was dancing to the rock song. Like, I remember that one. Like, but it was good, and it's different, and it stands out. 2 people hanging out at a concert and just waving at the camera. Nothing to even think about. Nothing to see here. The problem you have is the guilty conscience, and that's where you guys got burned. See, your guilty conscience, and this is my favorite part. Your guilty conscience was strong enough for you to realize that you shouldn't be doing this, so you were embarrassed and you were scared you were going to get caught. But it wasn't a bone that was strong enough to keep your ass from doing it. How about that? That guilty conscience wasn't strong enough to keep your ass at home. Like Tony Braxton in the 90s? She had a song, "Love Would Have Brought Your Ass Home Last Night." You know what I mean? That's where it's at. Love should have brought your ass home last night. I love you. Love should have brought your ass home last night. That was Boomerang with Eddie Murphy and my homegirl Holly Berry. He was trying to tell her, he was supposed to be a player. And she turned the tables on his ass. Then he had to beg her back. I don't know if this guy's going to be able to, because, and there's another thing with cheating. Like, I guess I'm going on this cheating tangent, but there's another thing with cheating. I think that, and you guys let me know what you think. I think that if you are out and you get caught like cheating or whatever, if you're white, like, there's different levels of getting caught, right? Now, some people they will not be cheated on. They will not be cheated on. I don't give a shit what happens, what your reason is, what you were doing, who you were doing it with. Babe, I got caught cheating with the most beautiful, certified, beautiful, all that woman in the world, rich as hell, circa 90s Janet Jackson. Someone would be like, well, you gotta do what you gotta do. But they just not gonna take it. But there are certain ladies, it depends how you get caught, whether you have a chance of even explaining. And what I mean by that is the public humiliation factor. in this particular case, because of the Coldplay thing, and there's like a meme that just took off and it's international, there's no way that his wife, can pretend like everybody doesn't know that he was cheating on her. There's a subset to me. I think there's a substantive difference. Like if she would have went through his phone and she would have saw the HR woman had called, like, what the hell you talking to the HR woman for 5 hours every 3 days? That's ridiculous. Every time you leave the house, you call the HR. Like what's going on over there? Like, you know what I mean? And he'd have to come in with like a lawsuit or a story that's gonna make sense why he's talking to the HR woman so much. Like that's kind of where it is. But if she found that information herself, I think that there's kind of a crack where he might be able to talk to her. But because it's a public humiliation, he came home and the damn house was dark. And when he got there, he flipped that switch. She took everything. She did the furniture. They ain't a stick of furniture in the house. There was the damn rugs probably pulled up. Like, she took everything. You ain't got no treatments on the window. Like she done took the damn curtains, the blinds. She tried to take the damn windows up out that joint. Like, and she took everything. Like you don't have nothing in there. Your stuff on fire in the backyard. Like that's that's the Coldplay. That's the Coldplay. That's why dude's suing. He's like, I ain't got no suits left. That is crazy. Yeah, Kathy Franz said no taco is worth 30 million. I know. You must be a taco connoisseur. That is the most expensive. Like, what are you doing? But at the same time, I mean, the money is a thing, but like part of what I was gonna do too, like you'll see with some of the my reactions, like I have a few infidelity things that I was going to react to coming up. And one of the things that we always have to keep in mind, especially when it comes to cheating, and this is kind of tied into Sister Wives a little bit. One of the things you always have to keep in mind when you talk about cheating, and I appreciate the topic, Cam Gilbertson. I will be giving you a little something in a minute. But when you're talking about cheating, the damage of cheating is that you crush the person that you're cheating on. You crush their self-esteem. You crush their trust because they trusted you. And so now that you call into question not only your integrity and they're trusting you, but you're also calling to their understanding of who their judgment in trusting you. So they're beating you up and they're mad at you, and they're also mad at themselves because they trusted you and they didn't see it coming. And they invested in and trusted somebody who wasn't worthy of that honor or privilege of being trusted. So that becomes a thing. Then you also have, and this is where like I said, I've said this before. This is where some people I know, and you know who you are, get themselves in trouble when they call themselves stepping out with somebody, being that other person. Because you start to think that you're comfortable with the idea. Like I told you, I knew a young lady who said that she was cheating with a guy, and she was like, well, I mean, I said I was fine with it, but part of me wants to just go to his house and talk to his wife. I'm like, don't do that shit. Don't do that. Don't you do that. Because you know about her. I guarantee you she don't know about you. And when you call yourself going to go up there and knock on that door, you're doing a few things to her. Because to you, this is just a guy that you messing with and you want to get him back because whatever he did to you that made you upset. For the wife and the mother, the new mother, because she had just recently had a child with this dude. The new mother and the wife is looking at it when you cheated with her husband, you're not taking just her husband, you're taking her life. You're taking her life, the life that she had planned and intended for herself. You're taking that all away. So her response may or may not be on par with the level of harm that you've actually done to her. Some people, you go up there and be like, I'm cheating with your husband. Okay, thank you. Thanks for letting me know. And they go in the house. Some people start crying. They get upset. They let it all, why? You know, some people, violence. Violence. Like you will get clawed up. Like you better have some good running shoes on and make sure them bad boys is laced and tied tight. Because you are going to be in a foot race. You'll be running for your life out there. I'm telling you. Because you are attacking a family. And maybe he's not there, but you're the one that they can get their hands on. And clearly you knew about them because you just came to him and said, I know about you and I want to let you know what your husband doing. And here's the thing, when you're doing that shit, and this is what I had to explain to her, when you're doing that kind of stuff, you got to understand, she's going to know, or she should know, that you're not coming to her to tell her because you feel bad and you're trying to look out for her best interest. You're coming to her because something didn't work out for you. And now you want to use her as a tool to get back at her husband, your boyfriend. And she might not want to be a tool for you. And that might be the cause of the explosion. See, because there's a point too where, I'm not saying people gonna get out there and fight for their husband. Like that's a kind of a misnomer too. Like, oh, well, she gonna be out there fighting for her husband. Ain't no man worth fighting for. No, that's not what it is. It's the respect factor. You walk to her house, her safe place, her haven, her shelter, and you try to take that away. You're trying to take her peace. And she's ready to go to war for that, especially if she has kids. Like now she's fighting for her kids. It's a different thing. So like that's why I'm not there's a lot of stuff that goes into messing around with people. What's this? So let me give Cam Gilbertson a little something. A little something. Bow, 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 bow. Got Megatron in the house. What up, Megatron? 719. $5 super chat. Can we imagine Kody hiding behind the decor at Salsa Bravo while TLC cameras bursting with Robyn yelling in his face about knifing the kid? Yeah. For those who don't know, it was said that Kody was going to Salsa Bravo ducking Robyn. Well, he was spending a lot of time at Salsa Bravo. I said he was probably there ducking Robyn's ass. So she got there wah, 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 doing the Charlie Brown teacher gig. And he's probably like, all right, well, I'm going to go ahead to Salsa Bravo, see what they talking about over there. And he spends hours at Salsa Bravo, which is crazy. Like, if you're going to do that, you might as well just straight up go to a bar. Because let's be honest, and this is where it gets kind of tricky too, because they've always kind of taken a position that they don't drink. But bruh, there's nothing to do at a restaurant like that. Like Chili's, was that Outback, like those type places, like the casual dining restaurants, wherever. It doesn't make a difference. It's all the same thing. It's casual dining. When you go there, they serve food and they serve booze. You can only eat so much food. You're only going to sit there and you're like, give me some appetizers. And you eat 2 or 3 appetizers, you're done for the night. You're probably sick. If you eat 2 or 3 entrees, holy smokes. Like that's just you're getting doggy bags. So the one thing that you can do for hours at Salsa Brava is get a little them single rep bicep curls with that Colt 45. The Coors Light commercial, Budweiser, the king of birds, But that's the only thing you can really do at Salsa Brava. So when she coming there busting in to try to check him out and ask him why he ain't home with the kids and what he doing in the freaking place, what freaking going on up in jail, and he trying to explain, them words might be a little slurry. She might prefer, I don't know. See, because we kind of like, there's also the kind of the thing too, where we assume that she wants him to be home. She might be giving him the money. You know what I mean? You go ahead and put it on this card. You go ahead and enjoy yourself. Yeah, I traded in some of them doll babies so you could get yourself some Salsa Brava nights. But baby, I don't want to go to I don't feel like having Mexican. No, you go ahead. Have a couple on me. Then you find out Robyn ass is cheating. Is that why you insisted that I leave? No. Anyway, you have to go because Tom will be here soon. Who the hell is Tom? He's my personal trainer. I told you about him. First of all, we don't even have a Jam Gym membership. I know he works me out here. Working you out doing what? We do cardio, heavy cardio. I was going to take it even deeper, but I'm not going to. Now I feel like TLC, just dirty for no reason. Yeah, I'm just saying. But let me give Megatron a little something. Yeah, that's. Yeah, that problems abound. Let me get back into the comments. Hold on 1 second. Who is this? Megatron. I've been a wife at home with twin newborns. Whoa. While husband was cheating. Ooh, I'm still banned from Pepsi properties in the USA. He worked at Pepsi. Literally drove through that building 2 times. Whoa, yeah, buddy. See, so, like I said, I ask me no questions. I tell you no lies. Some people, they can take it. Like they cheat, and that be it. Other people, like get the lawyer on the line because, yeah. You know what? I've been putting money aside for a retainer, so I'm going to make use of that because got retainer money and bail money. She said she drove through the building twice. Like, I'm just trying to get my miles and boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? When will she stop? When will she stop? Pick out, just blasting out windows. I was saying people diving all over the place, And you again, and as the husband, you looking at that shit, you like, I am fired for sure. There's no way, because your job don't give a shit who did what. They here with you. They here for you. Oh, you out of here. Yeah, I mean, she crazy, yo. Especially when it come out you was messing around. Especially if you messing around with somebody at work. Like the work is for work, and your boss don't give a damn about like your personal dramas and you trying to do your thing, get your strange, and I like it. She's strange, just the way she moves. Did you have that plan when you were ripping through the building? Did you? There's a question for you, Megatron. When you was running through the building in your car, did you have the radio up and loud? Like when you playing the music, it had like a soundtrack. That's like destroying property to a soundtrack. You know what I mean? Like, if you did have it up, what song was you playing? But put it in the chat. What song? If you were going to be doing that, what song would you be playing on the radio? Right. I mean, of course, there's the classics like the Phil Collins "Heat of the Night." You know what I mean? No, it's not "Heat of the Night." It's Damn, I forgot my song. That's the ride 'em song. That's when you be riding on dudes. Yo, do 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 do. I can feel it coming. Air tonight. That's what man had that shit playing. That's when you come around the corner. You driving over there, you know what I mean? Windows down. At the beginning of the song. I remember. I remember. Don't worry. I never forget. You be driving just thinking. Then as soon as you get there and you turn that corner, you hit that property, you turn that corner, that's when the drums start ripping. Boo-doo, boo-doo, boo-doo. And then you bust through the window. Boom! I can feel it. You know what I mean? But they have a few songs for the ladies. The ladies got them songs. He said, blasting Kelly. I hate you so much right now. Oh man. Oh, she was the secretary. Oh shit. See that? You know what? Them work romances get you twisted up, son. You be having one too many conversations. That's why, you know what? My lady hit me to that shit early on. Cause like I went to a job and I thought it was funny. Like it was something that I never heard before, especially when I got into corporate. Like they had a term called work husband, work wife. Yeah, my wife ain't play that shit. She's like, I'm your wife. I'm your wife. You ain't got no work, nothing. Okay, yes, ma'am. But yeah, that's how you get twisted. That's how you get it twisted. Oh, that's my work husband. That's my work wife. And then next thing you know, you start taking it offline, you know. All of a sudden, it's like right after the holiday party, couple drinks too many, the conversation a little too close, you know, too much giggling and shit. And the next thing you know, somebody got their drawers on the lampshade. That's all I'm saying, you know. You at the hosey wosey down at the hotel motel, doing things that you want to definitely be sorry about until you do it again. Like that, you know, the first time is the worst time. Yeah, that's a question. What music would you play as you rip into that place? And I get it, like, you know, not your proudest moment. I understand that. We're making light of it. But that shit is funny. Like, I'm banned from properties. They told me I can't never come back. I can't even buy Coke. I can't buy Pepsi. I'm on Coke now. Even Coke got me on probation. They told me I can't even get like cherry Coke or nothing spicy, nothing with flavor in it. They said I'm strictly on Diet Coke. I can only do Coke products. Can't even do Pepsi products. I mean, I like Mountain Dew. Only thing would have made it better is if when you was driving that car through there, you was drinking a Pepsi. You know what I mean? Like they do in the commercials, like blouse. Then you get out of the car, just crank the top off that bad boy, and then take a big old swig off of it, and then slam it like a football. And then you point to your husband like, catch you next time, and then jump in your car and take off. Oh man. I say, man. But I see, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm like I'll say that because at the end of the day, there was they don't use it as much anymore. This is old school. Some of you guys may or may not remember. Maybe you heard about it from your parents. I'll give you that out. But you know, using the can Pepsi as a weapon. Oh, she get out throwing them. She trying to beat them with the cans. You want to cheat? Oh, okay. You want to be thirsty? Oh, you thirsty? Let me give you something to drink. Start throwing cans at him. Then you see his secretary running across the thing. You just hitting it like the little things at the circus that go across like this. You're like bing, bing, bing. Like everyone's running this way, bing, turn the other way, bing. Oh, you want to be thirsty? Let me get you something to drink. This Pepsi gonna quench your thirst. I'll tell you. I don't mean to laugh at your pain. That's just crazy though. Like I get it though, because like I said, when you think about cheating, you gotta understand it's not just like I think that there's a like because I watch it on like even in the reality shows, they have like the thing. There's a person on 90 Day Fiance right now. I think she's cheating. Kara, the girl, woman Kara, and her husband Guillermo. I think her ass cheating. And when you look at it, like you're not just taking away, because we're not in high school anymore. High school, grade school, you cheat with somebody, this is probably somebody they weren't going to wind up with anyway. But when you're cheating with somebody who has a whole damn family, like you're taking away a lot from that person. You're not just taking a boyfriend away, the guy that, the Friday, Saturday hookup. You're taking away their livelihood. Like that person is contributing. We got property in our names together. My name appeared like, if not property, like bank books. We've been struggling. I've been paying for shit. She's been paying for stuff. Then all of a sudden we break that up. Now, what do I do? And no matter how it comes out, like, because that's the weird thing about like the Coldplay thing. No matter how much money she gets, she lost her husband. You know what I mean? Especially depending on how good their relationship was. I say, if she was a smart one and she was sitting around waiting for the shit to fall apart for him to come out that he messing up and her to spring that trap, that's one thing. But it's another thing if you see this person as your genuine partner. This is somebody, when you plan to get older, you plan to get older with that person. And then you have somebody step into that and take that away from you. When you guys see yourself in the future, especially when you have kids, you see yourself and you imagine your kids graduating from high school or college, or when they get married, or when they do when they have their first child. These are all experiences, those and so many more are experiences that you thought you were going to be sharing with this particular person. And then now you find out that none of that is going to happen, especially after you get finished driving through three or four glass walls at their job. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's the best story I've ever heard. I'm just saying. I hats off to you, Megatron. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't even mad at you. Because like I said, I mean, Pepsi's probably pissed. No doubt. Pepsi's pissed. Like, you had to take it out on our building. That's like, you know what you did to Pepsi is like if your husband got caught cheating and like he was driving with the secretary in the car, and you run over and just take a bat to the car, you baticize the car and bust all the windows out. I bust the windows out your car. Like you just hitting the shit out of his car. And then you find, like, you realize that when you bust up this car, that this is actually his friend's car. You're like, what did I ever do to you? Why would you do this to me? That's what Pepsi was like. Why would you do this to me? I wasn't cheating. I just make delicious beverages. I'm just saying. Better know for next time. No. There's another song. Man, I tell you, the women got the best like cheating songs. They do, man. Y'all got the best cheating songs. You got to bust the windows out your car. You got the one I throw my knife into the side of his cute little pickup truck. Cause he's talking about like I forget. He won't, but he'll think twice. Cause the next time he cheat, he won't be cheating on me. That song, oh, I remember I've been in places, you know, because I do a little karaoke. I do a little karaoke. And I'll go places you know, ladies will sing that song. I distinctly remember there was one time I went and this woman sang that song, and she was there on a date with a guy. And I'm looking at him, I'm looking at her, and the way she was singing that song, I got up off my little stool. I walked across the room. I said, bruh, whatever you doing, you need to stop. Because she's singing that's not a song. That stopped being a song about 5 minutes ago. That's a message. She is sending you a message. Your shit is about to end up on brick, son. I'm telling you, you are not going to have a window in your house or your car. Okay, you ain't going to have nothing but window pane. Okay, window pane because you remember what it was like when you had windows in your house. And the pain is going to come when you realize you don't have nary a window or glass surface in your house, and you have to replace all that shit. Okay, whatever you doing, stop it. If you talking to somebody at work, you got a work wife, you need a work divorce. You need a damn work divorce. I don't know who you gonna call to get the work divorce, but you need to make it happen because she's angry. Like, that's an angry song. Now, I've heard the song. I've seen people sing the song with a smile on their face. She's singing that song with a lot of passion. Now, she was a good singer too, which helped with the performance, but she's angry. She's been through some shit. She's working through some struggles. So whatever it is you're doing, you need to stop it. And I'm going to take my happy ass back across the bar now because she's coming. And whatever you did, I don't want to think I'm part of it. Because I ain't trying to get hit with no strays up in this piece. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to be no accidental bystander. Next thing you know, everybody's slow singing and flower bringing in my place and my funeral because you don't know how to conduct yourself. So you have a good night and I'm out of here. Sure enough, I took my ass across that bar. I said, great job. And I took my ass across the bar when she came up. Because, yeah, y'all, but I'm telling you, y'all got some of the best ones. Oh, okay. That's what's up. He said, my attorney is a real one. No time served. Okay. Shit. That's the one you keep on retainer. Who you got? Perry Mason, Matlock, or they kids? What? She said, no time served. Whoa. You drove through a building? I thought for sure they get you a murder, like attempted murder. Like she ain't hit nobody, but she tried. There was window blowing out. Like they tried made her husband an action hero. You know how they had like them slow motion with the guy like running and like shit just blowing up behind him. And she in the car like, run, Forrest, run, you know. You know. Bet you think about cheating next time. Come on, tell me I'm crazy. Tell me that I ain't crazy. I don't know what I'm talking about. When I ask you questions, you want to tell me that I know what I was talking about. Now I'm being paranoid. Now I'm something wrong with me. I'm going to make sure you get your exercise today. We're going to exercise these demons. Okay? We're going to exercise these demons with a lot of jumping jacks, some hurdling, and a lot of running. We're going to exercise the shit out of these demons today, son. Wait, what's this? Carmen Kitty said something too. She said, I have an aunt, grandmother, sisters who took care of business of her husband of 35 years at his job when she caught him cheating, claimed instantly insanity, and got off. Yeah, that's the back in the day. That was some shit back in the day. You know what I mean? I remember that. They used to say that. That was an old joke. You know, pew pews don't kill people. husbands who come home early do. And then they claim that they was insane when they did it. You know, I lost my whole damn mind. I don't know who I was. You know, is that what you said, Megatron? I got a call. I don't know what happened. Where am I? What am I doing here? Glass still in your hair. Yeah. Ooh. Mm. Is it raining glass? I don't know what happened. Good for you, though. That I mean, good for you. No time, sir. That's incredible. Yeah, yeah. And I'm not advocating people do violent stuff to people that cheat. It's better just to leave and don't give them that. Don't tear their house up. Don't tear their stuff up because then they wind up breaking your heart and suing you. But you know, it's something to consider. This is like back in the day, and they don't make these type of movies anymore either because cheating. I think that like to a degree, cheating has become almost an alternative lifestyle the way it's presented. Like there's so much that's pared down. Like I don't because I will say this, like at least with polygamy, I think that it does a lot of damage if it's especially if it's done wrong or inappropriately. But at least you're letting the people know up front what's happening and what you're doing. With cheating is different. Cheating is different, you know. And I don't think that it can be an alternative lifestyle. Like I don't think that there's anything moral about it. Like at least you could make arguments that if I could sit here and make a cogent argument, I think, for well, maybe not in support of polygamy or polygyny, but I think you could make an argument that you could execute it with minimum moral casualty or ethical casualty. So, the ethical non-monogamy argument, I guess, would be closest to it. But with cheating, it's not ethical because you're doing something and especially cheating when you're cheating on me, you're involving me in something that I didn't agree to participate in. And I take sex and sexuality very seriously. I don't think that it's something that should be trifled with. I don't think it's yours to play with. You can't play with my stuff and what I'm comfortable with because you comfortable with it. You comfortable with Hank and John and Frank and Lou and all these other dudes, Steve and whatever. That doesn't mean I got to be comfortable with it. I don't know these dudes. I don't know what they out there doing. And you're taking, like it or not, I know this is going to sound a little melodramatic because this is kind of where we were back in the day. But you're literally, in my opinion, you're taking chances with my life when you go out and you creep with somebody else. You're opening me for things that I should feel safe. Because if I knew, like if my wife was running around and I knew she was running around, then it's up to me to take precautions at that point. I could decide to not do anything with her. We could break up, or if we stay together, I could decide that I'm not going to sleep with her anymore, or I could decide that I'm going to we have to insist on taking other precautions, protections and certain things of that nature. That would be a choice though. That's my choice. I'm accepting the risk. But when you're going behind my back and you're lying to me, you're telling me that everything is okay. And when I ask you questions about it, you look me in the face and say that I must be crazy. And why am I so insecure? And it's my problem. And you need to work it out to yourself because I wasn't doing nothing. Bye-bye. I don't know what it is. I got to get to work. And then you go off and you messing around with whoever it is at work that you with. That's not fair. Like that's not, and when I say fair, that sounds childish. But it's certainly not right. It's certainly not right. And so that's why I mean, like, I bad Megatron for running through that damn Pepsi building. But at the same time, I understand. You know what I'm saying? I understand. I'm not saying I would do it. I would like to think that I wouldn't, but I don't know. I don't know. And that's the funny thing about it. A lot of people would look at that and say, even what Carmel Cuties wrote, like there's a lot of people would look at that and be like, oh, I would never. I would never. You don't know. You don't know. Catch you on the right day at the right time, especially with the right damn person. Some people, you can handle it if it's one person, but if it's this mug, oh hell no. Hell no. Give me the car keys. I gotta take a ride. You know what I mean? Is that what you said, Megatron? I'm gonna take a ride, y'all. She a dead ass. Yeah, I'm a ride, all right. I'm gonna take a ride over to his job. Just she didn't stop. Like when she got there, she never stopped. Shit happens. And he got all the employees just standing in the parking lot, just looking at the building. The crazy part is, you know how it is when you get work. Like there's some people is just like off the rest of the week, yo. Working from home. I don't feel safe coming anymore. I'm gonna have to stay at home for a couple days. Personal time on their way to Vegas. They're probably like, thank you, Megatron, you're amazing. You probably got some fans that day. Oh yeah, what's this? I need Megatron's lawyer. I thought about it's a thin line between love and hate. Song by the Persuaders. Oh yeah, that was a good one. There's a thin line. Yeah, buddy, that's a good one. Oh, that was also a movie with Martin Lawrence. And again, it was about a dude who was just out there doing his thing, took advantage of the wrong woman, pumped her with that game. The next thing you know, he thought he was going to like hit it and step off. You know what I mean? Knock and flight. But homegirl wasn't having it. She was not a fan. And she was doing things as we had that movie. We had what's the other one? Fatal Attraction. That was another one. That shit probably scared a whole lot of dudes straight, boy. I know I ain't gonna lie. Like that had an influence on me. Fatal Attraction, it sure enough did. Because you be thinking about that. And I had a propensity because I guess maybe because of my personality, I attracted a lot of folks. And in some cases, I got some wild people. Like some wild people. Like I remember I was in college, I was dating a young lady who was a Marine sniper. I think she was a sniper. And my buddy be like, yeah, she gonna be up in the damn I don't know if she was a sniper, but she could shoot her ass off. And like she gonna be up in the damn tower, probably watching us right now. Your dumb ass walking through, giggling and stuff. I wasn't doing nothing, but he was like, she was amped up. She was amped up. Yeah, you don't know who you messing with. So when I think of like fatal attraction and that kind of stuff, I was always leery about messing with people who were like too possessive or too jealous or, too insecure because, you a misunderstanding away from having a bad day. Oh man. Sexual healing. Kathy, you're a mess. Yeah, Glenn Close. Yeah, she was the one. And she had that rabbit in the joint. Oh, she turned Michael Douglas' ass out, boy. She turned him out. Like Michael Douglas was this married dude. And he happy with his wife and his kid and little daughter. And then he got hold of Glenn Close. She hit him with them smiles and stuff. And she was, and he thought he was getting something he wasn't getting at home. And she brought something he wasn't getting at home. A big old cup of crazy. Okay. She brought that big old cup of crazy. That's where they got the whole thing with boiling a bunny, because his daughter had a little bunny rabbit. And homegirl wanted to demonstrate to Michael, that was his name in the movie. She wanted to demonstrate to Michael, I think it was Michael, but she wanted to demonstrate to homeboy that he could get touched and his family could get touched. And that's when it got real, because it's one thing for your mistress to show up to the house and embarrass your wife and tell her what you've been doing. It's another thing to have your asses tied up in the basement and she down there trying to figure out which one is she gonna El Kabong first. You know what I mean? And she gave off that heavy vibe energy that she might actually come over to the crib and catch y'all slipping, slacking, and sleeping. You know, she let herself up in your house because she was in the house, no traces. They called the police. Police like nothing we could do. It looked like somebody just let themselves in. Maybe the bunny rabbit crawled into the pot himself and cooked himself. You know, I don't know that. What police? You supposed to be on my side. Nothing we can do. Do you think there's anybody we should know about? And of course, the secret to the sauce is you can't tell the cops what her name is because as soon as it come out and she get arrested, first thing they're gonna do is talk to your wife. Do you know who Glenn Close is? No, I don't. Oh, that's the person your husband is banging. Up, cat's out the bag. Literally, cat's out the bag. So now you got to keep that little kitty cat secret. Shh, don't tell nobody as that bunny rabbit is boiling. And I think the daughter found it. I gotta maybe rewatch that movie. And I think the damn daughter found her bunny rabbit boiling in the thing. And the thing was, it wasn't even like just boiling and he took the top off, like, oh, that something smell good. Baby, you making some rabbit stew? I ain't had rabbit stew in a minute. There wasn't no southern comfort shit. Okay, I think the damn thing. Maybe I'm putting too much into it, but I think that pot was bubbling over. I think the pot was bubbling over there. What the hell is that? And they turn the stove off and they take the lid off and the bunny rabbit float up, hair stone. Oh, ooh, ugly, ugly. Like, you can't, like, look, she was a different cut of crazy. And the worst part about it is when you do that type of shit and you do get somebody who nuts and they overbearing or they dangerous, there's a reality as the cheating party that you brought that into your family. This is something you invited into your home. And that's what Michael Douglas was. Like I said, that's where, like, it touched me on a few levels. Like, you brought that into your house. Like, your wife ain't had nothing to do with it. Your daughter damn sure ain't had nothing to do with it. This was your choices and a resulting consequences of your bad decision making, which led this crazy woman to boil your bunny rabbit and let you know that you could get touched. And she was like, and there was no boundaries. So when she said you could get touched and I don't want to hurt you, she looking at your kids too. And that's real talk. You know, and like they say, art, I think, you know, art, I think it's one of those things where it does reflect reality if it's done properly. And I think that touches reality on some levels. Not everybody you mess with is going to be crazy boiling rabbits, bunny rabbits. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that you can, just as there are people out there who are physically ill that you can expose your family to and put them in danger, there are people who ain't mentally wrapped too tight, which is, you know, ironically enough, which in some cases is how you got them. How you were able to convince them to meet you at the hotel and not tell nobody and go 2 states over to hook up with you and all this, and they doing it. And, oh yeah, it's all great. Oh, it'll be wonderful. And they, you know, they doing all this extra stuff, and you thinking that you just masterminding the hell out of it. What it is this person has extremely low self-esteem and is willing to do things to you. And they're investing in you like it's going to actually come out to something. And when it doesn't, they don't take that type of rejection well. And you're exposing your family to that. That's a reality. I think that's a possibility. It's not a huge possibility, but it's there. Just like it's not a huge possibility that everybody you mess with is going to be the one to give you a venereal disease and take out your family. You know, wipe you and your wife out and make your children orphans. I'm not, you know, that's not everybody, but it's a possibility. And I think when you messing with the right people, you might get that one, especially if you really want to get something different. You really want a little strange. You really want to get that strange, that different, that strange of love. You want to do that? Then what's going to happen is the best, you know, not the best, but, you know, crazy people are exciting. Let's not be, you know, we adults. Let's be real. You know, nutso folks is fun. They're fun while they're fun. They're fun while they're fun. You know, you having fun with like a person who ain't like all the way wrapped tight. They're unexpected. They do a lot of spontaneous stuff. You know, you driving to the girl, come on, let's go to the hotel motel. They crawling over the seat on top of you. What the hell? Girl, you crazy. Yep, she crazy. And then when you try to tell her, yeah, it's over. My wife done found your number in my phone too many times, asked me about it. I don't feel comfortable. I feel like I'm about to get caught. And I ain't trying to lose my family. It's over. And she says, politely, you're right. I don't want to get you in trouble. It is over. The problem that you have, though, is that one, you've come all the way into my house. Two, I've locked the door. Three, I'm not letting you go. And four, you're going to have to try to outrun this pew pew. Now, if you could beat this, if you could beat these 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 lead pellets that I'm gonna be throwing at your ass, these hot rocks. If you can outrun these hot rocks, then I'm gonna let you go. But five, just so you know, I bought a big ass dog and he's out front. And so if you can outrun these hot rocks that I'm gonna try to throw at your ass, you're gonna have to outrun Fido too. And it's a good 200 feet to the front gate. And I think the average human being runs about, Olympic level, about 15 miles an hour, which is like crazy fast. Sprinting all out, Olympic level. You're not in the Olympics. And my dog could catch that Olympic. My dog will eat the Olympic guy. The Olympic track guy, my dog will be eating his ass like a damn Sunday. So good luck, buddy. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. Oh, yeah, that rabbit part was Claire, that rabbit part was the truth. That shit, man. Like I said, that made a lot of dudes. That made a lot of dudes like, oh, hell no. Hell no. Hell no. They burning up rabbits? Where's Peter? Yeah, buddy. I'll never forget that shit. That little white, she had a little cute white bunny rabbit. It was cute. And I don't know, he called Mr. Wrinkles or something. Hey, Mr. Wrinkles. Where's Mr. Wrinkles at? I haven't seen Mr. Wrinkles all day. Mr. Wrinkles ass on the stove. Because your daddy don't know how to keep his Jimmy in his pants. So, say thank you, daddy. Him and Crazy Chick was out there banging like rabbits themselves. Oh, Teresa, that's next week. That's next week. Oh, man. I'm telling you. Let me see. Kitty 1838. What's up, Kitty? How you doing? With the fur baby. Remember for 3 months? Holla at your boo. James Southern Comfort and me equals tears. Southern Comfort. Yeah, right. Got that Southern Comfort. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Hey, I was about to play a Robyn clip by mistake. That would have been crazy and awkward. Yeah, well, we better. Oh, man. Hey, Teresa Skinner up in the house. Teresa. All right. Yeah, that used to be my jam back in the day. Little SC. That used to be my jam. That's why, it's like when you go to college, like I didn't really start doing anything until I got to college. And like you start out in the little crappy wine coolers and stuff. But that Southern, that was when I graduated. I think I was maybe like my senior year or something. And your taste start getting sophisticated. I'm sophisticated now. I'll be drinking Southern Comfort instead of that Bad Dog 2020, that Crazy Horse, 8 Ball. I have moved past like old winos, the parlance of old winos, because that's who usually be drinking that. Like, it's the only people who drink malt liquor or anything like that is college kids and full blown folks who are on in a program. That's it. Like that. Like I would never go out. Like this weekend, you go on vacation. I'm not gonna come rolling through with old English, a 48 old English, talking about let's get the party started. Like sit there drinking King Cobra or some shit, Colt 45. I don't even know if they make this shit anymore. That's how far out the game I am. I don't even know if they make it anymore. I know they make 8-ball. I think they make 8-ball. 8-ball is old English, 800. But yeah, I couldn't even imagine. Like I'm just sitting there taking it to the head, son. Too over that shit. You know what I mean? And plus, I got shit to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta get up in the morning. I got stuff to do. I just can't be sitting around. Like, that stuff is, man, if I try that shit, I'm done for like 3 weeks. It's over, right? Back in the day, I was a soldier. I was no limit soldier. Now, I don't even try it. I got stuff to do. Say Booms Farm, Mad Dog. Oh, Megatron was. Oh, that Mad Dog, that MD boy, that 2020. I don't know why they call it 2020 because you don't see shit straight after you drink one of them. And don't drink two and never, ever mix flavors. Oh, unless you want to see your shoes in the morning, like at the bottom of that toilet. You just, you know, you gonna see your whole life shoot out your mouth. Yeah. And the last thing you want to do is be at the porcelain prayer service trying to decide whether, making life choices and decisions. Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please. Let this be it. Oh, take me now, Lord, take me now. You know what I mean? That's old, man. I'm not doing that. I'm not going back. I'm not doing that. Yeah, them days is over for me. I had to pass the torch. I gotta say, if I tried to do half the shit I was doing, that's why I say youth is wasted on the young, Jack. 100%. Youth is wasted on the young. If I had as much energy now as I had back then, I could do so much more stuff. I could do so much more. Back then it was just like, let me try to figure out ways to jack myself up. But what's that? Oh, it's gonna be fun. Well, let's go to college parties, stand in a basement, somebody's dirty ass basement, mud like substances on the floor. What the hell's going on? Beer spilt everywhere. It just smells like beer and throw up. It's ridiculous. And we were the higher education folks. Like, what the? That's a stupid. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? You realize that as much money, and this is what I would say, like now, if I could go time travel back into my body, you realize like as much money as we're spending on crap, booze, we could actually put our money together and get a decent bottle of something that's not going to gut rot us. That damn Jacquins, Whoa. I don't know. This joint might get banned. Like, oh, he's talking. Oh. He's calling out the flavors. I just found out there was a beverage called Ripple. It was like wine. It was a wine. I think it was wine. And I didn't realize that they stopped making Ripple. I never had Ripple. Ripple was like old school. They used to talk about it like Sanford and Son and stuff. Oh, give me some of that Ripple. I was like, what the hell is Ripple? And that was like Willie the Wino. That like we had winos back in the day. We had drunks. We had winos. Like Willie the Wino. That's why I was glad my name ain't start with W. But yeah. Maybe Jaeger. That was my Jaeger. I didn't do Jaeger until I got, like I said, I was in college, and there was a German guy I knew, buddy of mine, and he was like, when I say German, he wasn't like ethnically German. He was German. Like he was from German. Like I think he was like maybe the first generation here. His father came over. He was a butcher. His dad came over as a butcher. His son was a butcher. He was a kid that when he graduated college, all he had to do was graduate college. He not the one that owned the town, but he was another one. His dad hooked him up with a job. Like he basically was going to take over his father's business, and he had been working his dad's business. When he graduated college, we graduated at the same time. When I graduated college, I was trying to find a roommate so I can get an apartment or something like that, create some kind of living arrangement for myself. I was trying to get a job. And I think the most expensive thing I did was I bought a used car. When he graduated from college, he bought a single family home on 3 acres of land. And because he grew up with a swimming pool, he had them, the owner contingent of him buying the property, he had them fill the damn pool in. But he was a big Jaeger guy. That dude was like Jaeger monster. He wasn't, it wasn't Jägermeister. It was Jaeger monster. That dude was a monster. I was like, what are you doing? I was like, and then of course it hit me one night. I say all that about his finances because it hit me one night. I'm sitting there hanging out with him. I'm like, what am I doing? This dude's whole life is set up. I need to go study something. Like I got bills to pay. You know, his whole life is set up. He can drink this syrup. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what Jaeger. Actually, Jaeger remind me of just like chocolate syrup. Wasn't my favorite. I mean, I don't say it wasn't my favorite, but it wasn't like that. Again, that's a lot of that stuff is just stuff that you wouldn't do to yourself on purpose. Yeah, tequila and lime. Ooh, don't remember much the next day. So that's what I'm talking about. But was sick. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I got too much stuff to do, and with these, like I said, this is what I was talking about earlier too. The you know, my secrets get buried in the sands of time because when push them down and shove, there was no camera. So if you forgot something, you'll be relying on somebody else to remind you. Nowadays, with this generation, they forget. Oh, don't worry about it. We just put it up and they'll download it into your TV and you can watch that shit in 4K. All your embarrassments. You know what I mean? And they'll keep it for the rest of your life. And then you know for sure that you're never going to run for public office or have a job. A good job. You know, good job. So, oh, you don't know good tequila. I can't even say it. My body's like, no. I'll tell you. And now I'm just low key. Like you know, go out. But I will say this. Like I was always and then we'll get into the phone calls. I will say this. I was always one of those guys that I wouldn't just go out to like a bar or a club just to sit on a bar stool and just start pounding. I was always one of those people that I always wanted to have an activity that I was doing. So it would any type of participation in any of those libations was always uh as a result of me going to a place and doing a thing. So it's just part of the experience. Like so it'd be, you know, karaoke or dancing or singing or comedy or whatever. Like I would never just go sit in a bar and be like, yeah, let's see what this do. Like so. That was my one saving grace. That saved me from a lot of trouble. A lot of well, I've never had a blackout evening, like where I don't remember nothing. I never had one of those. Knock on wood. I don't think I'll have one of those now, but just in case. I didn't have one of those, but you know, it was some bad nights. Good nights, depending on what you say, how you see it. But let's get to Miss Kata, Tanya Kata. Oh. What is this? And Nicole, I tried to show her with a bottle of straight tequila 983 days ago and have never regretted anything more since. That's what I'm saying. But during the time, though, I'm gonna bring it all the way back. Watch this. You know, those heavy nights of drunken debauchery is a lot like cheating. It seems like a good idea at the time. Like you feel like you can handle it. Oh, this shit, yeah, this is easy. This is easy. Then all of a sudden, that shit hit your ass like a freight train, and you got to deal with the consequences. That's the part that's not fun. It's the consequences. Like if it was just the glug glug part of it, everybody would be doing it. It'd be amazing. I'd probably still be doing it. But it's the consequences. Like when you feel like somebody hit you with a truck, and for some reason the world is just spinning. Like if you wanna feel like you wanna go crazy, here's what you do: you just stand up, put some pillows down, then spin around in place 50 times, and then lay down. And when the earth is spinning, you're like, this is what I'm gonna feel like tomorrow after I drink this case of 2020, you know, and you'll change your mind. Yeah, the pacing is good. Pacing is good, you know, and that's my big thing. Like, is because especially my daughter, she got older. She's older now, and that was one of the big things that, like, when I talked to her about it, it's all about just being responsible. Like you can go and partake. Like she doesn't like it. She ain't got a taste for it, which is kind of yay. But or at least that's what she tells me. She might be a booze hound, but my whole thing is just be responsible. Don't put yourself in sticky situations. Make sure that you're not consuming to the point where you don't know what's going on or who's around you. You lose your situational awareness. Who's coming in? Who's going out? What are they doing? The whole lecture about like you put something down, like you have a beverage in your hand and you're sitting there, you doing your thing. If you sit that cup down and you walk away from it, that's now a dead drink. You don't go back to it. That soldier's lost. If you take it to the bathroom, pour it out because you don't touch it after. If you don't see it, don't touch it. If you didn't see it get made, don't drink it. If somebody come over and hey, party time, got something for you. I'm good. I already got one. Thanks. There's somebody I knew that was slick. They would go in and they would have like they would do not water, but it was something like I forget what it was they were drinking the whole time. But it wasn't any alcohol. Like I know a guy that we're doing like the frat runs or whatever. He would do apple juice. And it looked like he always had beer, but he would just be doing apple juice. And he was fine, but he would act crazy. And it gave him an excuse to just act out his mind, do all the wild stuff that he wanted to do. But he was stone sober, sober as a nun. But like that's my whole thing. Like just be smart about it. If you're going to do it, and I've always said that about anything, cheating included. Like even with this dude, like if you want to cheat, why the hell you going to a concert? You got a wife at home, sucker. Lady, you got a husband. What you in public for? Take your business offline. Y'all not out on a date. What are you on a date for? You go on dates to build relationships. You already have one, greedy pants. What are you at a date for? It's not like it's gonna become more than what it is. You might as well just go do the activity that you guys signed up to do and take your ass home. Like what you on a date for? But there's rules to shit. Like even if you want to do the wrong thing, there's a right way to do the wrong thing. And if good, bad, positive, negative, consumption can be seen as a bad thing, but there's a way that you can do it to help mitigate some of the consequences of said bad thing. And that's where I'm at. So basically, if you're going to do it the right way. If you're going to be out, and this is a conversation that my mom had with me when I was a very young man. I had it with my son before he went to high school. If you plan on having intimate time with people, here's a thing, Proflo, Rubars. If you need more, you have any questions, you come to me. Right? If you feel like at any point you too shy to ask me or talk to me about it, that's your first indication that you are not ready to participate in that activity right off the rip. If you can't come to me and talk to me about it, then you're not ready to do it, right? But like before anything else. But you should always like, I'm gonna give you if you want to do the wrong thing, then make sure you're protecting yourself. And if you're not protecting yourself, you going out doing the wrong thing can complicate your shit way worse than you just making a mistake. You know, that's just crazy to me. But yeah, my mom told me that when I was young, when I was real young. She, if you're gonna be out there messing around, here's some, condoms. If you need more, come get me. Don't be out there making those stupid ass mistakes and don't bring no babies home. Well, I appreciated the conversation, and sometimes it is a matter of a conversation because you think that you're not telling them something and you're not mentioning something, you're keeping something from them, and you're not giving them the opportunity or giving them that safe space to be able to have that conversation with you. You're only inviting bad things to happen anyway. That's where I'm at. But yeah, let's get to these phone calls, and because I want to hold y'all. Like James, you just talk so much. I have fun with y'all. That's why I be going crazy. I'm having a good time with y'all. Yeah. So Tanya called in and she left some messages. Let's rip this first one.
James. Tanya Carter, I didn't know that you were having a speak pipe tonight. I should have known. Every Thursday you do, but okay. Christine's book is coming out. Do you think that I can't even believe we're going into a season 20 because what are we going to even be talking about? But do you think that it's going to be up to date now and we're going to talk about Christine's book and Kody's going to react to Christine making all this money because I think it's going to be a New Yorker's bestseller. Like she is really an entrepreneur and making her coins with her rich husband David and traveling. You know him and Robin just got to be burned up just seeing all the success of Christine right now. So I'm like, do you think that's going to be in the new season? Do you think the child support and the lawsuit against him from Christine is going to be in the new season? Because if they don't put all that into the new season, then I'm uninterested. Because other than that, like, what are we going to be talking about? Thoughts?
I think that was Miss Tata. That was the first of she got 4 bad boys in there. But yeah, look, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I think this season is gonna be dog water. That's just my feeling on it. Because I don't think that they're gonna explore any of the current things. Like I know that they're gonna be talking about Coyote Pass, but we already know what happened with Coyote Pass. They split the land up 4 ways, which is completely unfair. Kody Robyn married Janelle, split up 4 ways, and divided from there. But Mary and Janelle, to my knowledge, they didn't recoup any of the money that they put into the McMansion. They since then they've sold the McMansion to purchase this new house for $2.1 million. So I don't know. I don't think that that's even going to be included. As far as like Christine and Truly, I don't think that Kody would sign up or allow her to talk about um that case. And more to the point, I don't think a judge will allow them to talk about that case because it's one thing like to talk about the like for me to talk about the custody case and what Kody should be doing and how much he should be paying, or one of the other content creators to talk about it. It's a completely different thing for one of the parties, more to the point, one of the parents to badmouth or talk down about another parent. That could complicate your case. Like you don't want to, and this is where like the rubber meets the road with reality shows. You don't want to be on a reality show and in an effort to try to secure the bag on a reality show, you mess around and lose custody of your children because a judge says that you are I forget the term, but basically you're interfering with the custodial rights of the other parent because you're maligning them to the child, and or the child could become aware of what you're saying and what's going on. Courts look down on that crazy. Like family court, they do not appreciate it when a custodial parent or any parent, any of the parties, talk bad about the other party, especially to the children. So the quickest way for you to get penalized in court, family court, is for you to sit there and talk shit about the other parent. And if you're doing it not to the child, but you're doing it on a media source like a television show, it's a high probability. And if you have the right attorney, that attorney is going to be able to stand up in court and articulate how unreasonable it is that you were talking trash about the other parent. Because clearly the child could become aware of everything that you're saying if they just simply watch the show, or their friends watch the show, or their friends' parents watch the show. It's too easy for them to find you talking shit about them. Plus, you can go back and watch them on any one of the streaming platforms repeatedly. You can edit it down and have a copy of it. So it would be crazy. It would be crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I just hope that they come back with something like because realistically, they have to. And part of what has frustration in me with Sister Wives, and I'm going to be very blunt about this, is that they're kind of doing they remind me of a band that had a great song, like one song, a one hit wonder, and they just keep trying to come up with different variations of that same song. Like you're not creative enough to come up with a second or third song or come up with a whole album. So you just basically do remixes on a one song that was extremely popular. You know, and that's what this actually is reminding me of, because that's kind of where we are in the Sister Wife saga. We're watching the same thing over and over again, and they're just basically saying the same thing. They're just saying it in a slightly different way. But it's the same old thing. Like this is like basically Hangover 1, 2, and 3. It's the same movie, same premise, same beats. They just changed the location, right? They don't even change the players. It's just the location has changed, But it's this essentially it's the exact same movie, and that's what Sister Wives is like. Oh, Kody and Robyn, they're selfish. They try to do some skeevy shit. Janelle, Christine, and Mary are trying to defend themselves against Robyn and Kody's skeevy stuff. And then foiled again. And then they do the tell-all where basically you ask Kody and Robyn about some of the skeevy stuff, because the other parts of the skeevy stuff that they was doing, they don't want to talk about. But then when you bring up the stuff that they are willing to talk about, all of a sudden they don't want to talk about that shit either. So you wind up with a bunch of tell-nothings. And you don't have much of a season to report. And like I said, if you go through, and this is no shade on other content creators at all. You got to do what you got to do, and you got to make the content. And some of them have very interesting takes on material. Like I know Reality TV Cringe, they're going back and they have some interesting takes. Like I watch this stuff. They have interesting takes on the stuff that they have. I got to contact them too. I want to do another collab with them. But yeah, it's just like we as content creators, I can't do hey, let's go back. We just shot season 19. It just ended. Let's go back and explore segments of season 19 that were groundbreaking and interesting points to talk about to move the ball forward as far as the Brown family is concerned. I can't do it because they didn't talk about shit. And I know that like folks say, oh, well, this was a really interesting season. If this shit was so interesting, how come we aren't talking about it? We got to go back like 4 or 5 seasons to talk about anything that's like relevant or pressing or has any type of stakes to it. Like the stuff has no stakes. Like there's zero stakes to it. Because even with like Kody Pass to me is just a way for the ladies to try to recoup some of what they've lost. But that Kody Pass in and of itself isn't the groundbreak of their future. Like each one of them has something else going on that will far surpass and eclipse anything that they would get out of Kody Pass. I just want them to get Kody Pass for two reasons. One, because they are owed money in some form or fashion to try to even them out. It just seems right that they were to get something from Kody Pass. Two, and probably, if I'm gonna be honest, is probably my number one. It pisses Kody and Robyn off that they getting money from Kody Pass. I know that burns their asses up because they are going out and they have outside things that they're going to be making money from. They just wish that they would have did what Christine had done and just signed Kody Pass. That's why they were trying to frustrate them out of like the whole property. Oh, I'm not going to tell you nothing. I ain't got nothing to say. You come and ask me about the money that you spent on Kody Pass, what I plan on doing, what I ain't got nothing to say to you. So back the hell up. Like the whole reason why he was doing that is because he wanted to frustrate them out of it. And part of the reason why he wanted to frustrate them out of it is because at the end of the day, that's going to be the only thing that he has going on. And if he was able to walk away with Kody Pass, then his money, his wealth, and his profit might actually rival that of his wives who have left him. These women are making bank. They're making coins without him. And that is probably what's burning him up more than anything else. So not only are they making a shit ton of money by themselves, but they're coming back taking money out of his pile. And that's what's fucking up. Pardon my French. That's what's messing him up. That's what's messing him up. And so I take a little bit of pleasure out of that because I'm petty. But other than that, I mean, what are we talking about? Kody Pass, there's no stakes in it for Kody Pass. If Kody Pass burned down tomorrow, Janelle's going to be okay. Christine is already out. And Mary already has a place to stay and she's fine. She just wants some money because that's what she should get some money. They should get some money from it because of all the money that they put in. Just saying. So my hopes of them getting caught up, it would be nice if they got caught up, but I don't know, even if they got caught up, what would they talk about with regard to each other? Because all of them are basically living separate lives. Probably even Kody and Robyn. Like that's why he down at Una Bravo, Bravo, I forget the name of the place. That's why he's over there all the time. He's just saying, like, they have zero reason to contact each other. The only thing holding them together really was Kody Pass. Kody Pass, you can't even say the kids are holding them together because they don't, like, even though they share kids, they don't share time or experiences with those kids anymore. So if they have an event, Kody and Robyn sit on one end, the other wives, they sit on the other end. It is what it is. So, but yeah. But thank you so much for a call, Miss Tanya Carter. We got another one from Tanya Carter. Like I said, this is the Tanya Carter show tonight.
Hey, James, Tanya Carter. So I was listening to one of your shows earlier, and you were talking about, I think we all did get our closure. Coming into this new season, I don't think we're ever going to see on camera the demise and fall of Kody and Robyn as much as we all want to see them just sitting in the ashes of what they did to the family and just in tears and bewildered. I don't think we're ever going to see that. I think that once the show ends in about 5 years, like Kody likes to always project out, where do you do it in 5 years? I think that they will be filing for bankruptcy, and Robyn will be leaving him because she's not going to stick around for the poverty. But I think you're right. We are seeing the justice. The other three wives are living sustainable lives that after the show, they will be able to carry on with their lives and their lifestyle, whereas Kody and Robyn are solely depending on the paychecks of sister wives, and it's just not going to last. And their bills outweigh their income. So, I mean, I think their mortgage is $20,000 a month, minus, not including all the other crap that they have to sustain. So it's just not sustainable. And
20,000. What? 20,000. 20,000 a month. Are you crazy? I mean, I agree. I think that because I've said it before, and I agree with what Tanya was saying. I agree with Tanya agreeing with me, I guess. But when push him down and shove, like I can see Kody, and as crazy and as backwards as this is, and I'll substantiate this in a moment. I could completely see Kody before he declares bankruptcy. He's quitting the show. He'll quit the show before he declares bankruptcy. There's no way in the world Kody is going to be on this show broke as hell, and they filming him as he's running yard sales and selling all that junk out of that damn house. There's no way he's doing that shit. He will quit this show and go live in a damn freezer box. That there's no way he's doing that shit on screen. Like, so we're not going to see it. We're not going to see it. And I substantiate it. And you say, well, James, if he needs the money, he would do the show because that's the only way he's going to get back on top. I would agree with you, but here's the problem. That's a logical explanation. That would be logical for you to do that. A person with that kind of logic wouldn't find themselves in a situation where they're on the 20th season of a show that's dying like a freaking star. This thing is dying like a dwarf star. It's about to implode. It's going to create, not only is it going to explode, it's going to implode and create a black hole, and it's going to suck the rest of their careers out of their pocket. Like, there's nothing left after this. There's nothing left. Where is he going to go after Sister Wives? Where's Robyn going to do after Sister Wives? It's not like they're going to walk out of this show and walk into a spinoff. Like, nobody wants to see him. This is a black hole for them. And in lieu of that black hole, what do these geniuses do? Let's go buy a $2.1 million house because, hey, this show's been on for 20 seasons, and it probably could go for another 20. And there's no way that they're going to cancel the show because even though I lost 3 of my wives, clearly there's plenty of story to tell because I'm so interested. I couldn't look. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I say that they didn't have shit going on in season 19, I'm saying a big part of that is I'm sitting there trying to struggle through because I struggled through a lot of the little B-roll that they ran on Kody when they went out there and they was riding their little mopeds, when they were riding their little trail bikes around, the quads, when they were riding the quads and Robyn damn near killed herself. The most interesting part of that whole thing was watching Robyn trying to be stunt woman. She tried to be Evelyn Knievel, and she tried to jump the damn four-wheeler, and she did it once successfully. And then they ride around. Cody's coming around the track. And then Robyn tried to do it again and crashed the dumbass because she don't know what she's doing. She crashes, comes over, which after you get finished putting your son's face back together on them four wheels, nobody should go out with Cody's ass on a damn four-wheeler. Because every time he around on four-wheeler, somebody wind up getting jacked up and getting a hospital ride. But either way, that was the most interesting part of it. And then to watch us sit there and lie about it and try to pretend like, oh, I wasn't going to try. I thought you was going to try to ramp jump like you did before. I wasn't going to ramp jump. I ain't never did that. They got the video of you doing it. That was the most interesting part of that whole thing. But if it was just like, take that, if you took that accident out of that scene, would you want to sit there and watch the two of them go around, drive their motorbikes around, and then go up on top of the mountain and sit there and have the love conversation? Are you ready to be monogamous? Because I don't want to be with Janelle no more. I just want to be with you. I don't give a shit because I don't think Janelle wants your raggedy ass. How about that? Like, you acting like you got a choice and it's up to you. It's not up to you. It's up to her. And she said no. You did have a chance if you could have got on some act right, but you refused to take the act right. So guess what? You on the curb. So that whole conversation, again, that entire conversation, aside from the accident, that entire conversation was basically about the other women and his relationship with the other women. It wasn't even really about the interesting parts of that conversation wasn't about Kody and Robyn's love. We've known you've been in love for the last 15 years. You're the only people acting like the shit is new news. You're the only ones. Nobody is sitting around going, oh my goodness, this whole time, Kody has really been in love with Robyn. And he thought that she was special and different than the other wives. I had no idea. That's a conversation you're never going to hear from anybody who watched more than 3 episodes of this damn show. Sorry, not sorry. That's been the undercurrent and the storyline the entire time about how you prefer her. When you sat there on the couch and said, I bought the dress. You did that dumb shit. You basically said, I prefer her more than I prefer the other wives, because that's what makes the story interesting, stupid. So, no. You have nothing to talk. Like, I'm not watching your show. So even after the show is over, I think he'll quit the show because he doesn't want everybody to know that he's broke and he's living the poverty life so they can go, ha ha, because that's the only reason why your dumbass will be on the show. Correct or not correct? Tell me if I'm wrong. The reason why so many people want to see the downfall is because they want to laugh at his ass. And Kody's not signing up to get laughed at. His ego's too fragile. So he will quit the show. His pride will get in the way. The smart thing to do will be to continue doing the show to try to stack your chips so that way when this opportunity ends, you have something to fall back on. But clearly they haven't been doing that shit the entire time they've been on the show. If anything, I would have been kicking money aside the whole time. Every season, I will be acting like this is the last season. Every season. So when the music does stop, I'm not going to be the one left without a chair. Look, you ladies know what it is. Mama tell you that when you get married and you get in a relationship, make sure you take a little bit of money and put it aside. So when shit goes south, you got your little savings and you can take care of yourself. You can pay some bills and you can, the money come up short. Familial money come up short. You be able to knock off a bill or two. You be able to pay a mortgage if you need to. Or if shit get tight at the house, at the homestead, homeboy think he a cowboy. He want to get in and try to play a boxer, trying to be Mike Tyson or some shit. You be like, okay, I got rent money. Got first, last, and security. I'm out of here. That's how you do this money. He should have been putting money aside the whole time. Him, Robyn, all of them really. Should have been putting money aside the whole time. You know what the game was. You knew that you wasn't really in love with these women and you was taking advantage of them. So you should have planned on it ending. Stupid. I mean, maybe I shouldn't call him stupid, but that's just dumb to me. Just saying. Like, look, I'd have been kicking money to the side the whole time. You don't catch me out there lacking. So do I think that we're ever going to see that ending that we've been wanting? No. I mean, we might hear about it. But you're not going to see it in live and living color. And I'm going to be honest with you. When push them down and shove, they don't have to be on the show. Like, I don't have to watch the show every week to get the same result I would get if they weren't on the show. Because if he goes broke, he's quitting the show and he won't do the show. Or insult to injury, what he'll try to do is stay on the show and not talk about it. And that can't be something that they discuss, which will be even more frustrating. Like, he could be standing there with a wheelbarrow, wheelbarrow over his shoulders because they ain't got no pants, can't afford no clothes, butt naked, walking around with a sandwich board, cover the front and the back us. With a big sign on it, will work for food. He could be walking around with a sandwich board, butt naked, and he'll sit there and pretend like he doesn't have a sandwich board. If you lend him some money, he'll rent something so that he'd still look like he's still got money. Like, that's how he's going to play it. So we're never going to see it on TV. And frankly, he doesn't have to be on the show for us to hear about it. Because we'll hear about it. If he's on the show, if he's off the show, we'll hear about it, discover it, and discuss it the same way. Either way. So why we keep putting coins in his pocket? Just saying. Just saying. You know what I mean? He's not adding to the entertainment factor. And realistically, what I'd like to see, and this is, for Janelle, Mary, Christine, I would like to see them evolve to the point where they no longer need Kody or Robyn for the storyline. If that makes sense. Like, some of Yeah. A lot of But to just evolve to the point where they don't need them for the storyline no more. You don't need them to do evil shit for you to talk about all the evil shit they doing. so that you have something to talk about. I want them to be at a position where you can watch their story and the things that are happening with them, because again, they don't have any contact or relationship with Robyn and Kody. There's no reason why, like at this point, especially what Kody pointed out, and that annoyed the shit out of me when he was part. I'm saying shit a lot. That annoyed the heck out of me because I noticed that Kody messed around and he said it. Like, why they keep got my name up in their mouth? Why they keep talking about me? And he started playing them like they small because they keep talking about him. I understand why they're talking about him, but I don't like the idea that we're giving him that leverage to where he feels good about himself because he's foremost present in their mind. So that I didn't like that part of it. So I mean, there's that. But we had a super chat from Brittany, not Brittany, one of our mega mods in the house. $4.99 super chat. I wonder if the no bad talk clause in the child support case was in part Kody's attempt to slow down the book release. Well, yes and no. When you go to family court, anytime you go to family court, that's one of the precursor things that they always have. Usually, if you file for any pleadings, modifications, or anything of that sort, when you're during your initial pleading case, or even for the modifications, they'll usually include a packet, especially depending on what jurisdiction you're in. But every jurisdiction I'm familiar with, they include a packet in the back, which basically has that you can't talk crap about the other parent, because they don't want you to alienate the other parent, especially custodial parents who have, hand and rocks the cradle, controls the world, rules the world. But they don't want you to sit around and talk about like how the dad or the mom ain't coming by doing the right thing and they not paying for nothing. They don't help you. They don't do nothing for you and that kind of thing. It could actually be very damaging because kids are kids. And so if you say things to your child a certain way, your child will repeat or regurgitate those things that you've been saying the way you've been saying it. And you'll be able to tell, a judge will be able to tell a judge, a conciliator, or even a mediator, depending on what jurisdiction you're in, if they do that stage of progression where you go to a mediator, then a conciliator, then a master, and then you go to a judge. But if you do those things, they'll be able to tell that, oh, that ain't from this child. The child don't talk like that. Okay, the kids don't talk like that. That's mom or that's dad. you know. you know, if your little junior in there talking to the conciliator, the magistrate or the judge, and he's talking about like she's a skip scab scallywag. Like, what the hell? That's not a third grade thing to say about a person, and you'll get banged out. So usually they keep it in a pack. It's part of the packet. Now it does become a lot more enforceable if the other parent is pushing it, because it'll be something that they just give to you. And in some cases, they usually have like a parenting class too. I think in most cases, some states have started adopting a thing where both parties have to take a parenting class and get some kind of certification that you took the class. And that has a cost to it too, because everything they do now has a cost. So when you when you file the paperwork, that costs money unless you're insolvent financially. Then that has to be ruled on a judge, and the judge can waive it. Then if you go for modification, that costs money. Modification, change in the order or whatever. When you go to the mediator, that's a cost. Usually that's an attorney, local attorney. He'll come down and mediate the case, try to come to an agreement. Usually it's non-enforceable. You can't even talk about what you talked about during mediation in court. Then you go to a master's or conciliator, and that's the person right before you go to court, and they try to work it out again. But the whole way they're telling you can't talk shit about the other person, and you can't talk bad about them. You have to make the child available so that they can, you can do the exchanges. And if you are in Kody's position, I can see where they put they do have a gag in, because even with some of these like family court cases, you can go into some of these family court cases. Like there was a time when they used to try to block them out. The actual hearing or the trial might be blocked, but for a lot of the earlier pleadings, a lot of earlier hearings, you could be sitting in the gallery and watch the case. But in this particular case, Kody, and I think it was a mutual thing, they decided not to have this stuff shared, probably because of YouTubers who will get the information and talk about it relentlessly. So yeah, but I'm sure, like I bet money that Kody has been doing everything possible to try to stymie or shut down the release of Christine's book as it affects him. And if there's anything negative, I'm sure he's been trying to pull out all the stops. He didn't want Peyton talking about him, so he reached out to TLC to try to first he reached out to Christine to tell Peyton to stop talking about him. Then when she wouldn't do it, he reached out to TLC. And then when TLC wouldn't do it, because obviously if Peyton is doing, like he's doing the thing that I've said that the YouTubers are doing, where we go out and we start talking about him and we're keeping the sister wives, why are we going to tell him to shut up? He's making us money. So TLC is incentivized by having Peyton out there talking, doing podcasts and talking about the family and everything else. So he wouldn't shut up then. And then Peyton had told a story about how after all that had failed, he contacted Peyton directly and tried to do the, oh, shucks, I'm your dad. We'll be friends. Oh, come on. We don't want to talk bad about friends. Not in public. Come on, man. And so, yeah, with that being said, Peyton only knows some of it. And Peyton doesn't have nowhere near the platform that Christine does. So if he's trying to shut Peyton up, it would only make logical sense that he's definitely trying to shut Christine's ass up. He definitely don't want her talking. But see, the thing is that I'm sure like Christine had run this whole book past her attorneys, and Kody has probably seen a copy of it. His attorney's probably seen a copy of it. And I wouldn't be surprised if at some point they've submitted his attorney, Kody's attorney, submitted segments or portions of the book to the court to try to eliminate those stories or at least shut the book down. If they can't cut the whole book, at least cut down anything referencing him. And the book is coming out, y'all. So that didn't work. Which is that's another part of, like I said before, this is our closure. This is the closure that he's trying to stop the book. She's going to make a shit ton of money and he can't participate in. It's not just going to be the fact that the book is successful, New York Times bestseller, my prediction, and it's going to make Christine possibly millions of dollars, my prediction, solely millions of dollars. Because the last time she was on the New York Times bestseller and she was, the books made a lot of money, she was tied in with the family, and basically all that money went into Kody's pocket. In this case, she's going to make a shit ton of money. It's going to be a New York Times bestseller. And all that money that she's going to get, Kody's getting none of it. And that's going to hurt his feelings more than anything that I could say or anything that TLC could say. So that's another reason why I think that I don't even think it's just the fact that they talking bad about him. I think it's the fact that he's not getting none of the money that he's going to try to stop the book from coming out. That's my take. But thank you so much, Brittany. Now, Brittany! We got Lizzie B in the house with a $5 super chat. Mega Mod OG. We need an episode with Christine's on. She needs to come back and hear "You Are Right" from her niece's mouth. Yeah, I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. Because Christine played her aunt dirty. 100%. She played her aunt dirty. I don't even want to speak to her after this. Then she act like she was scared going into the bathroom. I can't even take a dump. They outside waiting for me. I think I dropped a deuce. I don't want to go outside because they might. If I open this door, people gonna pass out. Their eyes gonna water, son. I should have had the salsa brava burritos. They were delicious. I regret nothing. Well, when she played her aunt dirty, that was the UNLV debate. It was actually the one group came for a discussion. The Browns showed up for a debate. And so anything that they said, like especially the girl, I want to say her name was Melanie, but I don't think that was her name. But she was from the Kingston group. That young lady, man, she breaks my heart. I can still see her face. That breaks my heart because she was in a situation where she was being asked to marry her damn cousin, right? And she was like, and things had happened to her. And you could tell, like, a lot of the stuff that happened to her, they couldn't even talk about on the show. And the Brown family, everybody's sitting around pretending like they don't understand what this shit is about. Oh, I didn't know there was evil people like this. You totally knew there was evil people like this because from the first episode, you were talking about the what's his name? The Warren Jeffs. You were talking about Warren Jeffs. You knew about that group. And you can't tell me that you didn't know about the damn Kingstons who are right down the damn street. Like, you know about Warren Jeffs. Don't go down there and be messing with them Warren Jeffs, them little house on the prairie looking people, boy. They get your ass. That's it. But you leave the Kingstons alone? You don't know nothing about them. Y'all not the only band in town. You know that, like, you guys know about each other. And Utah, let's be honest, Utah itself isn't that big. How many people live in Utah? Now you got my curiosity ripping. We'll do it in real time. Utah pop. Utah has 3.5 million people. You know what I mean? The state of Utah has 3.5. The city of Manhattan has 1.6. The city of Manhattan has 1.6 million. So, like, the whole state, and Manhattan is part of New York. You see. New York population is almost 3 times the size of Utah. So when we talk about it, like, they're down the street. They're down the street, and it's not that big. Utah is spread out. It's huge that way. But you guys know about each other. You guys know about each other. And for them to sit there and pretend like they had no idea, you have aunts, your mom were in these relationships and they got out. They call themselves escaping these relationships, and you're gonna sit there and pretend like you had no idea. You guys knew, but you lied to us, and you were holding up the facade that this was an amazing, alternative lifestyle and it's something to do. And you owe, even if you don't apologize, and if they don't show it to us, just know that, Christine, you owe your aunt an apology. You owe her an apology. You damn sure owe her dinner. Where you go out with her and you go out and you just tell her, like, look, I played you out. I'm sorry. That was ridiculous. And I'm glad I escaped too, And Kody, like, because I remember there was one part where she was trying to explain, like, her Aunt Kristen, I think that was her name. She was trying to explain to Christine, and she was saying, like, look, these are their experiences. And we're just talking about how polygamy is. We're not talking about your family. We're talking about how polygamy is. And Kody's like, look, I knew your husband, and your husband wasn't nothing. And here it is. Kody is in the same freaking boat. Like, you got to paddle in the same damn boat as her husband. Or maybe he's not as bad as her husband. But see, that's the part of it. Part of it, too, is that because you're in a relative situation, you think that just because you're not as bad as this guy, that you're good. Just because you're not dragging people up and down steps don't mean that you're innocent in this situation. If you're dragging down your kids emotionally and destroying them emotionally, you know what I mean? You're just as bad, if not worse, than the guy who's doing it to him physically. Because the guy who's doing it to you physically, he might look at you and say, I love you, but there's no confusion as to what he's doing to you. When you have somebody who's damaging your mental, they're coming at you, and the whole time they're damaging you mentally, they're telling you that they love you. Their message is completely opposite, and it gets you to a point where you confused. Oh, maybe he do love me. I'm just messing up. That's where you at. So no, you're not a good dude. You're not a good dude at that point. Sorry, not sorry. Just saying. Like, So I 100% agree. Like I do wish they let her back on the show so they could talk about it. Oh, she's working with people trying to escape polygamy, and it's like I take it as an insult. I take it as a personal affront because she's trying to help people escape polygamy because some people need to escape. And the fact that they sat there and act like it was so insulting and so terrible that this woman dedicated her life to try to get people out of bad situations that were tied to polygamy, and you take that as a personal affront. Here's a part of it though, and I'm not gonna go too hard on Christine, but here's a part of it. Hit dogs holler, okay? Hit dogs damn holler. And if she's saying, no, this don't have nothing to do with you, I'm trying to help these people, like the young lady who was married off at like 15, 16 years old to her cousin in the Kingston group. And I think she was married to like a full grown ass man. Like it wasn't like she married like a 14-year-old married another 14, 15-year-old. You had like 14, 15-year-olds marrying 50-year-old dudes. And he's saying, I'm trying to set these people free, these young ladies and even these young men who are being subjugated by this terrible system, because the young men need help too, because they're being victimized as well, because these old crusty ass dudes can't compete with these young bucks. So they get rid of the young bucks. They cast them out of these places that they spent their entire lives. You didn't prepare them to be out in the world, and then you kick them out into the world, which is the cruelest shit you could possibly do to a person. And then so they have to set things up, facilities up to try to help them as well. The young men in these situations, and this is not to diminish or belittle anything that the young women go through, but for the most part, these young men are widely forgotten. And even in a lot of our conversations, these young men, they are forgotten victims of this system. And she's working with them as well. But to sit there and pretend like she's doing this terrible thing and it's hurting your family because it's making you guys look bad, and you guys want to make it seem like everything is perfect, but because in desperation to try to make like everything is perfect and validate your own relationship, you're causing crazy harm. That's not a way to do it either. That's definitely a downside. That's definitely a downside. So I think that I 100% think that there might have. I hope it's in her book. I hope that it's in her book. That's something that I will say about Christine's book. I hope that there's a chapter dedicated to that in her book, where she says, you know what, my aunt was right. This is some bullshit. These relationships don't work. Like the way these guys are trained to do it. And I'm not even saying 100% that absolutely positively this could never work. I'm saying that the way these guys are trained to do it, at least the guys that we've been presented with, the guys that we've been introduced to, they are not trained or prepared to be able to carry these relationships out to true fruition, to where it will work. The closest thing we had to that, like I said before, was Brady. I think his name Brady Johnson. I want to say his name was Brady Johnson. But the dude Brady from My Five Wives. What is his name? Brady Williams. There it is. I know it was like a common name. But yeah, 100%. I'm with Lizzie. I want to see Christine, you're like, girl, take your aunt out. Be like, girl, you was 100% right. That was the bullshit. I got caught up. My sister got caught up. Wish I could say I got caught up with that thing, but I just caught up with the dumbness. That was El Stupido. This is what I was doing. I was sipping a big old cup of stupid. That's what I was doing. Spending all my time, energy, and effort into somebody who was never going to do anything for me. Oh, yeah, I owe you guys a motivational video. I got a good one, too. So check that out. Check it out. It's coming up. But, yeah, let me give you a little something. Yeah. With the motivational videos, like I don't want to just come out with something just to be coming out with it. So I had to wait for a message to hit me, and it's something really hit me the other day. And I hope you guys like it. But we got Caramel Cuties. Oh, we had a trifecta with the Mega Mods up in the house. Caramel Cuties in the house to find out super chat. I am wondering who will the 20 season 20 Tell Nothing. Oh, host. I'm wondering who will host the season 20 Tell Nothing. as I don't see Suki returning after speaking on Kody's sexual encounters on season 19. Tell nothing. Yeah, I don't know. That might be a power struggle because I'll be willing to bet Kody is struggling to get her ass fired. But the thing is that after season 19, Suki did get such a positive review from a lot of the folks who were doing the tell-all reviews and reactions that TLC, if they fire her now, they might be making a mistake. Because you can't, if you fire her, you have to get somebody in there. Like, and this is my thought. If TLC fires Suki, they have to get somebody who's going to pick up where Suki left off. 2, they have to be willing to take it places Suki never went. Because what I don't think the fan base will tolerate is starting all over again. I don't think they're willing to tolerate, you get Suki and she finally asking some real questions. She's finally giving some pushback. And the second she do that, she get fired. And then you get somebody else in there like, Kody, tell me whatever you want to tell me. I'm going to just sit here and grin. Like, you get somebody like that. I don't think that tell-all not only will do nothing. Like, you might have people watch the first episode and they'll tune it out for the rest of the time because people ain't going to sit through. Sister Wives like to run 4 tell-all episodes. And I don't think if they bring somebody in and they just sit there, smile, shin, and grin and pretend like everything Kody's saying is gravy and it's no problem and it's all wonderful. And yes, I believe you, Kody. Yes, tell me whatever you want to tell me. Oh, Christine was an asshole. She was. Oh, for real? Yes, she was. I believe you, Kody, because you're such a good guy. You're so handsome and strong and muscular and definitely masculine. You're such a masculine man, Kody. And you do all that stuff. That's one episode that people will watch. I think they won't even make it through the whole episode before they turn that off. Then I think that there's going to be a backlash. And that's the other part that TLC has to be aware of. Like, because if you go backwards to a person who's not going to do anything as far as asking or giving pushback to Kody on these questions and listen to a lot of that diatribe, he comes in with a whole lecture and speech that he wants to give, and you let him give that lecture and speech, then all of a sudden, you don't give them any pushback, and then the other women get talked to like they lying, because that's what Kody really wants. What Kody wants is he wants to say something and everybody else to get pushed back. Kind of like we saw a little bit of that during the therapy session where he went with Mary, and basically as soon as the therapist said, okay, Kody, here's what I think. He said, look, I ain't come here to talk about me. We came here to beat up on Mary. And if you want to talk about me, I'll leave. I'll cut this off and I'll leave. Because I'm here to bully her. And I think that that's what he wants in the tell-all. And if you do that, there will be a backlash. And this show will be over. Like, if they want this show to be over, fire Suki, and then get somebody who's sitting there happy as apple pie to be here. I'm so impressed. I love Kody. Cody's my friend. Get somebody like that. This show is over. This show is over. I'm talking about this show will be dead as fried chicken. Okay? It will be done. Done, data. Done. Wrap it up. Cancel Christmas. Put a bow on it. Roll credits. This show is finished. If they get somebody who is just going to sit there and let Kody do whatever Kody want to do and run all over him, this show is over. This show is over. Like, I don't think the fans will be able to take it. I don't. They were barely holding on. Let's keep it all the way a buck. Like, the fans were barely holding on through Suki. They're barely holding on through Suki. There's no way they're going to do somebody who's like Suki light. Oh, please. This bad boy is over. If you want to cancel the show, give Kody what he wants. Kody is the antithesis of this show going on beyond season 20. All the stuff that he's trying to do, guys, I have this great idea. Because I can hear him trying to pitch it now. Guys, I have this great idea. What we're going to do is we're going to go back into the town where I used to sell signs, and I'm going to give the fans a little bit of a glimpse of the things that I used to do when I was a young man and how I made money, and that they'll be really interested in hearing about the history and lore of how Kody Brown became the man that I am today. And I'm going to take my family there. And I'm going to describe to them all the beautiful signs that I sold in this small one-horse fucking town. And that was supposed to set it off. That was supposed to be the same way when we watched and here's a killer. And it's like, again, this is the closure part. When Christine, pardon my French earlier, but when Christine and Janelle went, you remember they went to Christine's brother's place. They went to visit Christine's brother, and they were riding like the 4-wheelers and all that. That's what Kody and Robyn were trying to recreate out there on that mountain when they was out there doing the 4-wheeler stuff, and Robyn crashed. They were trying to recreate that moment the whole time, because right after Christine and Janelle did that, like, there was always whispers about them having a spinoff. But when they did that road trip, that's when the fans started saying, that's what I want to see as a spinoff. I want to see the two of them together. Forget Kody and Robyn. I want to see the two of them in a spinoff with their own show, and I want this to be the show. So when Kody does this stuff, like he does the let's go out riding our bikes, and the two of them out there on their 2 bikes riding down the road like little broke ass Hell's Angels. You know what I mean? They ain't Hell's Angels. They look like they deserve to be there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. That they were trying to create that moment where the fans were supposed to say, oh, I want to see the Kody and Robyn show. When he went back to that town and during Garrison's funeral, which is even more awkward and crazy, but when he went back to the town and he was talking about like all the signs he sold and shit, that was supposed to be the spark for us to say another part 2 of us saying, wow, I need to see more of this. I need to see more of this. They trying to recreate these moments, and the stupid part, well, I keep saying stupid, but the ridiculous part of it is that it's carbon copies of the things that the other wives have done that we liked, and then they try to recreate that moment and then get mad because we don't like it when they do it. And that's why when Kody says that, like when folks, I wish you guys had tickets to my mind movies. Because I see shit a little different. When Kody said, when he sat there on the couch and he said, what was it? He had said something to the effect of, damn, the thought just escaped me just that quick. Whew, that's a sign of getting old when you start forgetting shit. What am I up here for? Go back downstairs. Like, my keys. That was the whole thing. Because when Kody was talking about how everybody hates love, they all hate love. The world hates love. What he's talking about is you guys won't love us. Why won't you love us the way you love them? We're doing the same thing. You know what I mean? They're like little kids. Like the one cool kid does something, he comes in like, hey. And then he points at everybody, yay! And they're all, oh, he's so cute, he's so handsome. And then a guy sees that, and then he jump up and, hey, like, oh, sit your ass down, Coney. We already seen it. That's so old. That was so 10 minutes ago. Like, that's where Kody and Robyn are. They can't create that organic viral moment that these other women have, and they're watching them do it, and that's burning their asses up. We're supposed to be the cute ones. We're supposed to be the popular, fun ones. And everybody is drawn to these sows. Why do they like them? And little do they know, people like real. They like real shit. They like people who genuinely have things going on. They don't like manufactured stuff, dude. That you guys are manufactured. Everything about you is manufactured. You out there riding on the bikes like you like each other. Just go out there and have conversations because you don't want to film in your house. We all know why you don't. Every 5 minutes you trying to find an outside activity because you don't want nobody in your house. It just is what it is. You know, but it's just, I don't know. We gonna have to see. We gonna have to see. But that's what kind of where I'm at. Let me give Karma Cuties a little something. You know. But I did like the fact she pressed. It was creepy talking about his sex life. and with anybody else, I probably would have been like, why we talk about high school, college, or whatever. What he was doing, how many bases he rounded, whether he got any sacks or he got the touchdown. Like, come on, Suki, that's too much. But Kody, because he is such an ass, and I know it bothered him so much, it tickled me to no end. And the fact that he sat there and he joked along with her, and then he tried to pretend like, because what happened was, here's my opinion on what happened. He was sitting there joking around about the how far it went, hooking up, and all that other stuff. That's what he used to call it back in there. You know, hooking up with young ladies in college or people. I don't want to say young ladies, but he was hooking up with people in college. And what I think happened, I think that they took a break. He got up from the couch, went off, maybe hit Crafty or something, and took his little plate back to his room, right? His little wardrobe room, his dressing room. Either met with Robyn, who was sitting there watching his interview, or he talked to her about what was being said, and she was insulted. And then when he came back, it's like the Will Smith slap. You know, the whole time Chris Rock up there telling the joke about G.I. Jane and Jada Bald as an eagle and all that other stuff. Then Chris, Will Smith sitting there laughing his ass off. Then he look over at his wife and she giving him the old stink eye. And he like, oh, damn. So now I got to go up there and make an ass of himself and slap the shit out of Chris Rock to prove to his wife how upset he was for real. And he wasn't really laughing. He just had the burps. And that's why he slapped Chris Rock. And I think that Kody did the same thing. Like he was sitting there laughing and joking, enjoying the conversation. Then he went back, talked to Robyn. She gave him the old stink eye. You make the ass of me, Kody. You making me look bad talking about all this sex stuff. This ridiculous. And it's so disrespectful. And here you are just joking around about it. Oh my God. And it's too far, Kody. It's too far. I don't think I can go home with you today. And then Kody come out mad. And then he tried to take it out on Suki. That's what I think happened. And he tried to pretend like, oh, Suki, you took it too far. Try to give you guys a little bit, but then you take it too far. You just go run with it. Try to be generous with my stuff. You mean generous with the shit we pay for? If I go to McDonald's and order number one, you are not generous when you hand me a Big Mac, sucker. The fact that I know the meal, it's a shame. But you go to McDonald's, you order number one. I think it's always been number one. You go to McDonald's, order a Big Mac meal. You are not doing me favors, handing me a Big Mac. Now, you doing me favors if you take it like back in the day when you had like real good fries, like the delicious ass fries. And you took the scooper and instead of putting it in a little fry container, you took the scooper and just hit that thing like 3-4 times and just put it in a bag. That's the hookup. Thank you. You're being generous then. You know what I mean? I order a sandwich, you had me some fries and a cup to get some drinks. That's a hookup. But for you to give me what I paid for, that's called business. What are you talking about? I'm being generous. You guys pay me for my life story, and here I am being generous, giving you my life story. Like, this ain't a charity interview. You're being paid. Shut the hell up. Answer the questions. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That make no sense. I mean, be thankful of the privilege and of that opportunity of sitting on that couch, making ridiculous bank, just sitting there answering stupid ass questions. Here's the part that trips me out. If you really think about it, the conversation he had with Suki, that sounds like something that you might have in a break room at some rando ass job, and you doing that shit for free. That's if you could get somebody who actually cared what you were doing in high school at like 50 plus years old, still talking about screwing people in high school. Oh yeah, when I was in college, because I don't think he went to college. When I went to college, like unless he went to prison, like I know that sometimes, some communities they call prison college, or maybe like the Mormons. I don't know. Maybe we got some Mormons in the chat. They could tell me whether this is the case. Maybe they go away on a mission and they call that college. But as far as I know, he came back from the mission. He went to the mission right after high school, and then he went to then he married. But when he came back, when he came back, his parents had already converted to the AUB while he was doing his mission. When he came back, he converted, and then not long after he converted, he married Mary. So I don't know at what point this whole like love tryst would have happened. So, I mean, but again, at the same time, I'll put the same veracity of integrity on this story as I have on the last 19 seasons when he's been lying and playing in our face. So I don't know. Maybe this is just a story. The sad part is maybe he just told this lie or this story because he thinks it makes him sound cool. Now realize he sounds like a fucking dork. Pardon my French. Sound like a dork. I mean, I started this off talking about like the whole thing when you in high school and you start hooking up with people. Why would you run around and tell people about people you hooking up? That's disrespectful. The young lady wants to spend time with you, do things with you. You gonna run back and tell folks why? All that's doing is messing up your future opportunities to go back and enjoy that same activity that you just had the privilege and pleasure to participate in. Why are you messing it up for yourself? All you proving is that you got a big ass mouth. So if she do want to get freaky with you, she got to take it into account that you are Mr. Reporter Man, and you're going to run back and give the daily news on what just happened. So even if she do give you a little something on the side, she ain't giving you the best. She ain't giving you her best. She ain't giving you her best. She giving you the pedestrian version. She giving you the one with the rails on it. Like, you know, you go to bowling alley and you with the little kids, they put them rails up so you don't get the gutter balls. That's the kind of intimate time you getting. You getting the gutter ball rail time. You're not getting the wild, fancy, free. Let's go buck wild. Let's do some things. Let's do stuff that we can't even talk to each other or look each other in the eye in the morning. You ain't getting that kind of love, Mr. Reporter Man, Mr. Reporter from the Daily Planet, Daily News. You're not getting that kind of love because you run your damn mouth. You talk too much. Shut the hell up. What are you talking about? Put that in your back of your memory banks and you take that story with you. Put that shit in your pocket. Thank you very much. That's what you say. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That was a spectacular display of athleticism, gymnasticism, and all the isms. Are you crazy? Shit. Ain't no way in the world. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why, you know, and we're going to keep it all the way a stack. That's why I was saying, that's why Kody missing Janelle's ass. Because Janelle was playing it close to the breast. He say close to the vest or close to the breast, whichever. You know, one of them nights, I guess. She was playing that shit close. She doesn't say nothing. Like Janelle was just keeping it quiet. She had to come out and remind folks in this last tell-off, just to let y'all know, I am all about the herb. I like wine, the booty time. I like all that stuff. I'll breaks her back off. You know what I mean? She like, I'll breaks a dude off. just so you know. You know, like she was putting out the advertisement, and I quote what that is. See, some folks might have missed it. Oh, that's just Janelle just trying to reaffirm to people that she's actually into it. No, girlfriend had her flag flying. She was letting folks know. That's what you call an advertisement. That was an ad spot. She was telling any prospective guys out there, just so you know, if you come this way, don't think that we just going to be out there tilling soil and planting flowers. Okay? We're going to do the original planting flowers. We're going to put the seeds in the ground. We're going to let the flowers sprout because that's our business. But when we talk about business, there's always the birds and the damn bees, player. And that's what Janelle was telling folks. She was telling any prospective guys out there, you better do your stretches. And if you need to, bring the pharmaceutical help with you. Get the little blue pills, your little blue friends. Bring them with you. The Blue Man Group, bring them with you. Because I'm curling toes and I'm slapping backs. I'm snapping backs, baby. I didn't tell nobody before because I keeps it on the low. And to that, I say respect. You know what I mean? Nobody have to know. Keep it to yourself. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Remember back in the day, people didn't brag about what they was doing. At least me and my friend. We don't brag about it, but you just know that somebody got it because you're like, oh, look at that smile on his face, boy. You can't tell him nothing. He got that smile on his face. Good, he call that the my man got the Kool-Aid smile. That dude, man, you can't tell him nothing. You can hit him with a truck. That dude is fine. He'll get up. Oh, I'm good, man. Woo! I gotta go see Michelle later. Work this out. What you and Michelle doing? That grown folk business. Keep your mind your business, man. Worry about what we doing. You know what I mean? He talked too damn much. Like that man, what you talking for? Too old for that. To start talking. I'm gonna start talking now. Man, you 50. Your time to be stupid and tell them kind of stories like 40 years ago. You blew that. Your window is closed. That Overton window has been closed. You're a grown ass man. What you talking about? Like back when I was a child, I knew this young lady, and we would come back and hold hands after the cotillions, and we would do things on the porch. What, kiss and hug? We would kiss each other and hug each other with our clothes on. And every now and again, we might put on some slow music and do what they call the slow jazam. We would slow drag. I don't know if you guys remember the term slow drag. But yeah, maybe that's what you think third base is. Yeah, I was dancing with a girl, and then guess what? I touched the bottom. You touched the Buddha? You touched the Buddha? Yeah, I touched the bottom, man. Oh man, he got the third base, yo. He got the third base. He was holding a hand, yo. You know what comes after that? Marriage and kids. Let's put it this way. Ain't nobody ever have a paternity test based off of holding hands. Holding other things, baby, but not holding hands. That's third base, yo. I didn't score no touchdowns. You mean hit a home run? Like you're missing your sports metaphors up. Thank you, Carmo Cuties. Appreciate you. All right. Lizzie B gifted one My Takeover Reality membership. OG. All right. Thank you so much. Let's get a little something. Enjoy that membership. Teresa Skinner. Oh, matter of fact, I want to do a membership. Like I'll have a membership thing maybe tomorrow. Let's see what I got going on because I want to do you guys a membership before I go and enjoy my family. I'm enjoying my family. You know, that's one of the weird things too. Like as I get older, one of my pleasures, like I have a weird pleasure, right? Like I love hanging out with my kids. Like I think they're funny. Like they crack me up. I enjoy their personalities. I enjoy them as people. But one of my favorite things actually is to actually sit back and listen to them interact with each other. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just me. I'm a weirdo, but I like the way they interact with each other. Because what it is, it's one, I enjoy the fact that they have that sense of not only sibling relationship, but a friendship, like a genuine friendship. One, two, it reminds me of me and my brother. You know what I mean? When we were young, like me and my brother, we could be in a room full of people and we could be having a conversation. My mom used to say it. And as close as we were to our parents, our mom and our dad, we would basically be speaking our own language. You know what I mean? Like, because half of it was like commentary, but a good portion of it was like body language and looks. Like we could sit there and have a whole conversation and never say a word to each other. Right. And to see that, you know, it's exciting to me. But yeah, that's for me, that's just that's kind of my thing. Like I do like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoy interacting with them too. Because especially they say shit and they say kids say the darndest things. They do. Like, you know what I mean? And you just got to be there for it. And that's one of the things, like when I talk about like Kody missing out, like, and like he has FOMO when it came to going to the wedding and going to parties and being able to dance around and walking into places and basically taking a space over because his family is so big. And he said, "Oh, I have FOMO, fear of missing out of those big activities." And it always bothered me, if I want to be honest, it always bothered me that you don't have FOMO when it comes to those little pleasures. Like when it comes to actually having kids, because having kids is not only pleasurable, but it's hard. It's hard. There's points where it's very difficult. And one of the more difficult things with having kids, you would think it's when they do the wrong thing, but it's not necessarily when they do the wrong thing. It's when you realize that you have to let them go in order for them to grow and become the people that they need to be to move past you. So one of the more difficult things to do as a parent, a lot of times, is to let them go, because you want to hold them on, you want to keep them safe, you want to keep them secure, but you realize that by doing so, you're not doing them any favors. So that's a very difficult challenge, I think, for a lot of it. And then when you realize that in order for you to let them go, you're going to miss out on certain things. And that's the FOMO that a lot of parents, when I hear parents talk about FOMO, that's the FOMO that they're talking about. Their fear of missing out on like the important things of a child's life. The first time they walk, talk, first steps, first time, you know what I mean? Like the first time that they graduate school, maybe the first time they fall in love, the first time they get their heart broke, the first time, like the first time they try to drive, like those things. When they graduate schools, when they accomplish things, you have fear of missing out on those things. But what I don't hear from Kody, and maybe he's just playing the tough guy for TV and he doesn't want to talk about it, but what I don't hear from him is the FOMO in missing out on his kids' lives as to where they are now. Like, yeah, you're hanging out with Robyn's 5, but you have 8, like you have 18 kids, bro. And you, by you only hanging out with 5 of them, like, my man, you are barely on like 25% of your children. Like, that's crazy. And if you really look at it, of the 15 of your 15 of your natural children, your blood, bone, DNA children, you only hang out with 2 of them, which sounds way worse than like out of 18, 5, out of 15, 2. Like, holy shit. Like, whoa, wow. You know what I mean? Like, man, that is crazy. Like, that's almost like 70, what, 75, 74, 75% of your kids you don't talk to? Holy smokes. And you don't have fear of missing out. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Brittany, not Brittany. Uh said oh yeah, Kody don't have FOMO, fear of missing out. Yeah, I'll be too, Carvel kids. I'm starving too. I gotta eat some. Um we'll get through. We'll get through. I got a couple more. And I have some super chats I gotta get through, but yeah. I'm starving. Plus my wife had to go to work earlier. So gotta make her some dinner and take it over. Oh, that's right, because bruh man cook. Y'all don't know? Shit. Oh, I gets down. I throw down in the kitchen. Throw down in the kitchen, son. Because that's what it was important for my because my dad, he can't cook. But my mom was a crazy, oh baby. I tell my daughter about that sometimes. Like my daughter, my son. I be telling about some of the meals that my mom was making, some of them dishes, son. Ooh, that she was making shit. Like, she gave us the recipes, but I've never tasted any food like the kind she made. Wow. And my grandmother, her mom, oh my goodness, she made like these desserts, like this cake. I've never, ever, 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 ever found another cake like this cake she made. It was so good. Like, oh, I could taste it right now. Like, that's how you know you get some good shit. Like, when you get years later, you can still taste the food. It's ingrained in your soul. Like that's that soul food, son. Like you, oh, I'm so hungry. Now, Brittany, you got me distracted. I'm all sitting there talking about food. My stomach about to touch my back. My front about to touch my back. What do you mean, James? You don't cook once a week like Kody does here. Right? When Robyn has things to do, I cook for the family, make hot dogs and shit. We having hot dogs and baked beans, yo, all in the same pot. And that's not even hating on. I remember my mother went away with her friend one time. Her and her friend went away because she had an opportunity to go to London, England, and my dad was making us food for the week. A lot of hot dogs and baked beans, son. And I knew at that moment I would learn to cook. Well, my mom had taken a position that you know, she refused to buy into the traditional roles, I guess you'll call it. So she was just basically like, look, women got shit to do. You gonna get married, you gonna marry somebody, and you can't guarantee that they gonna be willing to come home and make you a meal. Like you got to know how to do it for yourself and be able to provide for your family in the same route. Now, if she know how to cook, cool. Y'all can get in the kitchen and cook together, but you're not gonna be out here, expecting or demanding that somebody do something for you that you could do for yourself. So here you go. And then she gave us the foundation to learn how to cook. And it was, I mean, be honest with you, that shit got me through. It got me through. Because I mean, there is something to be said about like because that's one of the things like I'd always said to my kids earlier too, is that when you make a meal for somebody, and like you can ask Miss Betty, like Miss Betty and I sometimes talk about food or whatever, but when you make a meal for somebody, you put part of yourself in it. Like that's why they refer to it like a lot of times as culinary arts, because anytime you do any type of art or anything like that, creatively like that, uh cooking is always a little different. So even if you have like the same ingredients, you might have to work it a little different. Like you might have to zhuzh it a little different. And part of it is the when you making it, one of the main ingredients to any dish you make is love. So when you put that love into that dish, that's what makes the dish what it is, I think. Like you have somebody who really cares about you, make you something. It's a little different. It's got a little kick to it, you know. So if you get that, if you're able to make like good food, and that's why like when I spend a lot of time, like I said, I talk about it sometimes. I spent a lot of time down in down south when I was a young man, and when we go down south, they would feed the shit out of you, Jack. Like you would not leave that. I swear, boy, I came back. You was always about 5-10 pounds heavier than when you left. Like you put on some weight down south, Jack, because they fed you, and the food wasn't just good. It wasn't just good, but it was in filling. It was something special about it because they put everything into it. And so, growing up in that type of culture, like, like it's not just in the like southern region, but like in Italian cultures like that, where manja manja, they give you that food and everything is about like building yourself up. And it's not just a time for you to sit there and feed yourself physically, but you're actually feeding yourself spiritually, and it's an opportunity for you to be able to commune with your family. So dinner time and those meals is a very important time because it's a time when you guys could not only sit and eat together, but in some cases it was a time when you would sit in the kitchen and you would actually preparing the food or preparing the meal. That's another time when you're communing. Like, and that's one of the things that I miss. Like when my mom was teaching us to cook, I never really thought about it till just now. It just hit me that was an opportunity for us to hang out, for us to all hang out together. Because when you're sitting there learning how to cook, or you're cooking together, you're hanging out with each other, you're doing things together, and you're having it like you're not just cooking, everybody's working on a little dish or sauteing or whatever. Like you're conversating, you're talking, you're laughing, you're enjoying each other's company. And that's what the meal is, you know. So yeah, Megatron, get y'all turkeys. You know, get y'all turkeys. Because we've already been warned, you know, when some things happen. Them turkeys might be, you know, that might be the meal source. Like that beef is crazy now, Jack. You go there. I remember there's some beef I was looking at before. We used to get, I spent a good amount of money on it, but now they want like double and triple. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna have to, I'm about to be a vegetarian up at this joint. We about to eat some leaves. Them leaves might get expensive after a while. Get them that lettuce. That might be expensive. I might be outside picking leaves off of trees to make salads, pulling up grass. You know what I'm saying? Another thing, aside from the turkeys, get your turkeys early for the Thanksgiving holidays. You know, consider starting a little garden. You know what I mean? I'm gonna start me a garden so I can grow my own. You know what I mean? Actually, probably better for you because that way you get rid of the process and the preservatives and the insecticides. I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent. Always, James, always. Got a little something from Teresa Skinner, $1.99 super chat. They should do a look back or where are they now? Yeah, right. Where are they now? Yeah, look back would probably be pretty cool. Like I would like to see because I think a where are they now would make more sense. Because a look back, they would only talk about things that were about 3-4 years ago, because that's where they are as far as the filming is concerned. Anytime they film like a reality show, even if they're keeping up to date, they're about a year behind. Sister Wives, because of the way they did things, they're about 2 years behind. Even with the catch up part where they caught up with Big G's passing, that staged them so that they could be current. But the reality of it is that season 20 season 20 most likely will be what was happening around the time that Big G's passed. So by the time season 20 airs, they're back to 2 years behind again. So where are they now, I think would make the most sense. But thank you so much, Teresa. Appreciate that. That's actually a really good suggestion. So if you TLC interns are watching, put Teresa on the payroll and take a damn idea, because that's a good damn idea. And I know it's a good idea because I recognize good ideas, and that's a good idea. So I have a where are they now special so that we know what's going on now. And and here's the other secret, TLC intern, they'll make you look like a genius. But the thing is that a lot of the YouTubers actually capitalize off of the fact that you guys don't report what's going on currently with your cast members. And you have a lot of YouTubers who come back and they undercut you, and you're not going to be able to stop us. We undercut you by reporting what's going on now, thereby taking away your future storylines. So in order for you to prevent that, or at least to be able to capitalize and monetize that, what you need to do is you have access to the people who are actually going through the things. Do, like Teresa Skinner said, do a where are they now run of episodes where you're talking about where they are now. And that way we're getting the news from you and you get the views. And then, of course, we'll come back, we'll do cleanup work, and we'll talk about it and discuss it and give our perspectives and our views on it. And the chat will go crazy, and they'll talk about it, and they'll give their perspective on it, and they'll probably see stuff that we forgot to see or missed or whatever. But that way you guys will be able to control the narrative a little more. What's happening now is you guys totally forgot about, like, they didn't talk about the custody battle. YouTubers are talking about that. They didn't talk about, we didn't hear about what was going on with Kody Pass. That was like sarcasm and YouTubers talking about that. That's missed opportunities on behalf of TLC. So where are they now, I think would be a fantastic idea if they could pull it off. Again, put Teresa Skinner on your payroll and give her some money, and she'll come up with these ideas. Thank you very much, Teresa. Oh, Jody Pierscala, 499 super chat. Do you think the boys were influenced by their mothers to be real men because Kody was such a bad example? I worry for Gabriel. Yeah, you know what? For Gabe, but Gabriel. Um, I see. Here's the thing. I think sometimes him not being around, as much as we talk about it being a bad thing, I think that there's an argument that could be made, and I know I'm probably gonna catch some shit for this, but I think an argument can be made that the kids actually made out better because he wasn't around, and they actually survived on the image of what he reported himself to be, as opposed to what he actually was. When he talks about it, they talk about like manhood, masculinity, masculine responsibility, being a man in very generic, generalized terms and idealized terms, where they talk about these are the things that men do. That's completely different than sitting there watching and experiencing it with somebody who is not living up to any of those attributes. So, in a weird way, and I know, and I say I might get some shit for it because Christine basically said this, and I defended her when she said this. When she said, I'm going to move away from Kody because right now, Truly has a view of him, a perspective of him, and I'm going to move her away so that I can help to save and preserve that view that she has of Kody. And she quotes, "Oh, that sounds like bullshit. That's not real. She take him away. He's gonna be away, and he ain't gonna be able to participate with Truly, etc., etc., etc." Now, if Kody was a good dude and he was doing everything that he needed to do for Truly, I would 100% agree with that sentiment. However, we're talking about a guy, as far as I know and as far as been reported, a guy who lived down the street, literally lived down the street from his daughter and never stopped by to see how she was doing. Now, when you're that kind of parent, you being around every day might not be the best for might not help the child, okay? Because you're showing them what the negative sides of being a man. Like basically, in other words, I'm gonna break it down a little further. I'm gonna be straight out with it. In other words, you're demonstrating to him that being a man, being a father, is getting a woman pregnant and leaving her to raise those children by themselves and taking the attitude that is their responsibility to take care of that child, and you have no responsibility and nothing to do with that child, including physically, emotionally, psychologically, and most importantly, financially. You don't have shit to do with them kids. Anything that happened with that kid, anything that kid needs, that's on you. That's your responsibility. I did my part. I knocked you up. That's it. Mission accomplished. Hang the banner. I'm out of here. And that's what he taught him. So sometimes, missing that, kids learn to become self-reliant. This is how you have situations where you have kids who grow up in very tough situations and they come out to be the most excellent driven people ever, most well-balanced, focused people ever, because they want the relationships or the type of relationships that they've never had. So they try to be that thing for their kids. They try to be something for their kids that they never had, and they become excellent present parents. Whereas in some cases, you have somebody who is given everything and shown everything and they're provided with everything, and they never really appreciate what it is that they have because they've always had it, and they become shitty parents because they're self-absorbed. So I mean, it kind of like that's a knife that cuts both ways. I wish there was I've seen a lot of channels that talk about this kind of thing, and they try to make it as simple as if you have both parents in the house, the kids will 100% turn out good. That's if you have, or be more advantaged. That's if you have parents who are involved and present and participating in the raising and rearing of those children. If you have parents who are not participating or just frankly shitty people, then that child is, if a child is growing up is it better for a child to grow up in a home with two parents, even if one of those parents is abusive? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. And I think that in this particular case, that with the boys, I think that they very well may been influenced, if there was influence, and I hesitate to say this a little bit because I can't prove it one way or another, but there's a possibility that the boys were actually influenced by Kody's presence or by Kody's absence. They learned to be the men that they are because Kody was gone and because they saw the look and pain and hurt on not only their mother's faces, but on their sisters' faces as well, and on their siblings. So they realized that I don't want to be the kind of guy that hurts his family like dad used to do. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to be different. I'm changing my life around so that I can become the thing that I need to be so that I can make better decisions. And that very well may be the possibility of like how he influenced the family. Like, so it wasn't that his presence influenced them, but it was actually his absence, which gave motivation for the kids to become better, stronger, more independent, and more fiercely committed to the family. Because in some situations, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a little bit, but in some situations, you know, for better or for worse, the young men are forced to take more of a responsible role, young men and young women, because Aspen was also asked to take more of a responsible, more role as a child parent. You know, she was basically mothering her siblings. When Christine would go to work or when Christine had something to do, Kody couldn't be bothered. So Aspen had to step in and do that. And by you having to do that, that's a skill that you learn. And you're filling in that void. You learn to be that caring, compassionate caregiver because you've been doing it for so long. You were trained to do it because your parents were absent. And so I think hopefully that answered your or addressed what you were talking about. But you know, I think that their moms did play a critical role because I think that they ironically, I think to drill down even further, I think that the mothers very well may have pushed their sons to become the type of man that they wish they were with. There's kind of a scenario too where in some single parent homes, and this is unfortunate, but in some single parent homes where they say the young man becomes the man of the house, a lot of times in those types of homes, not only is he the man of the house, but he's almost a pseudo boyfriend or husband for his mom. He almost becomes his mom's husband or boyfriend. So he takes that role. It's a non-sexual position, of course, but they take that, all the other responsibilities, they kind of take that role. And from that respect, they become the main focus of the mother because she's focusing on him like she would focus on a lover or a paramour. With this, the Brown family, I don't think it was that deep or that phenomenon necessarily occurred because so much emphasis and attention was placed on paying attention to what Kody was doing. Like, so because Kody would come around and he would be around and the wives would worry about what he's doing and where he's at, who he's doing it with, what's going on with him. When he comes over, we got to drop everything to make sure that Cody's happy and he loves her, you know, being here. And this is his favorite place to be because everything's about Kody. That that type of focus wasn't placed on these young men. So I don't think it was that. I think, like I said, I think it was they were training him more, their kids, and particularly their sons, to be the type of men that they wish they had in Kody. And then they realized that Kody wasn't those things and what they needed to do in order to be those things. I think that makes more sense to me. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But thank you so much, Jody. Jody in the house. Give Jody a little something. Excellent question. Actually, it's more of a comment, but we'll do that. It's back and forth. Brady with the $1.99 super chat. Cut to Cody's disinterested kids. Great TV. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. How you gonna hook the fans when you can't even get your kids, your progeny, to pay attention to your little bullshit ass story? How you gonna hook the fans into a spinoff? The people who are on the show don't even want to be on the show. Make it make sense, brother man. Make it make sense. Them kids look like they were ready to go out walk in the traffic. They was like, oh my God, he's still talking. Is he talking to me? Oh, he's still talking. Who are you talking to? I don't care. Okay, you know what? What else? That you put up a sign, it's got lights on it. You know what make the lights go over, flip the switch on the wall, the lights come on. Okay, done. We're done. That's it. You know, I feel like I left a legacy. By leaving a light sign. Are you crazy? Them kids, and that could be it too. The funny part is that if you have kids, and that's what I was saying earlier, sometimes you have two parents and the kids wind up, questionable. But part of that is if you give so much to your kids, they don't appreciate the little things. Here's the irony. You ready? The irony is he takes the kids that he spends all his time with and all that investment in. He take them to tell them about like the town and selling the signs and how he used to do it. And this sign here, it means this. And I had to pay for that. And boy, it was so amazing how it went around and it's so wonderful. Right. And those kids look like they was bored as hell. They look like they were bored. He cracked open the dictionary and started reading the dictionary. Right. They no interest because they're used to seeing Kody in more exciting times. The irony is, if you would have took any one of those OG 13 kids out there to that same spot and told that same story, that same dry ass story, they might have been so interested in listening to him talk about it and living that moment with him. That's the crazy part. Because when you starving, the slightest meal seems like a banquet. You have somebody who every day they get anything that they want, any type of food they want. You take them out to the most expensive steak place or rib shack or seafood joint, whatever, most expensive place you can think of. You take them there, they used to it. It's okay. Give me a doggy bag. I guess I'll have dessert later. They don't care. They don't care. Do this every day. But the same situation, you take your other kids, that starving kid, that kid who's so hungry for time, affection, attention, you take them out and you break out a plate of Ritz crackers. Oh, these Ritz is delicious. I taste the butter. It's like buttery. This is buttery. This is toasted to perfection. You know what I mean? Oh, you gonna bust out the peanut butter and jelly on a player? We having peanut butter and jelly crackers? Oh, baby. When you starving for that time and attention, that would have been the most amazing thing. They would have been in touch with him. They would have felt connected to him. If you took Gabe out there and they would have spent that time with Gabe would have loved that shit. He would have sat there and talked to him all day about it. They might have went to dinner and they still been talking about them damn signs. That's the irony of it. That to me, that's the irony of it. And once again, failing, just failing. Brittany, not Brittany. Oh, Brittany, not Brittany, but another one. $4.99 super chat. Mega mods in the house. Also, it says so much that Kody chose the event surrounding Big G to try to capitalize on how interesting he and his crew are, and failed. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. I mean, the nerve of stepping over your dead child so that you can try to create a storyline is insane to me. That's insane to me. I guess you do what you got to do. Everybody, mourns differently. I might even take an attack though, because basically, let's think about this. I don't know whether the other folks were filmed or not. But there's a possibility that Janelle and Christine weren't filmed. They refused to film going down. Like, you can film the service, but you're not going to film me going to it. Kody and Robyn, oh, the hell with it. Yeah. You want to film me? Oh, baby. We're going to stop and we're going to see some signs. Okay? And after I describe these signs I used to sell, we're going to go over to the ranch. And at the ranch, I'm going to ride a horse. That's right. I'm going to ride a horse. And I'm going to demonstrate my masculinity because everybody knows that there ain't a man, there's no man more tougher, more braver, or more masculine than the Marlboro man. That's right. The Marlboro man is the most ridiculous man ever to live. And I'm going to ride the hell out of that horse. And then I'm going to get my wife and we're going to jump on the back of a horse. Now, normally, with most horses, they tell you that the max capacity for a horse is about 250. You don't want more than 250 pounds on the back of a horse. You can hurt them, right? You can hurt them bad, like to the point where you sending that bad boy to the glue factory, the old time saying. You know what I mean? But me and my wife, who are clearly over the 250 mark, we're going to get on the back of a horse and try to look cute. And that'll be another selling point. Oh, we getting our spinoffs today, Jack. And then, like Brittany said, that shit failed. That shit failed. It failed miserably. Because nobody was like, oh my God, the way Kody was riding those horses, the way he rode that horse, wish he would ride be like. Nobody said that. I've never heard anybody talk about Kody riding that horse. The only person who said something was actually Robyn. And I will say this, like Kody does look like he knows how to ride. Like I'm not even going to front. Kody does look like he know how to ride a horse. That's him growing up around horses. I'm sure if you get Kody out there, any of his kids, especially Janelle's kids who spent their summers down there, you put Garrison or Big G, he is Big G. You put Big G or Hunter or Gabe or you know what I mean, Logan, especially Logan. You put them on the back of the horse. I bet you they know how to ride the hell out of a horse too, right? Because they were down there working for the summer. They spent their summers working, so they can all ride the hell out of a horse. But he was like, look, this gonna do it, y'all. I'm ready for my Mr. DeMille. I'm ready for my close-up. That shit should have been on the cutting room floor. And I'm not even saying it like as a skill set. There would have been a time for him to capitalize off of it. I just don't think it was the time that he went down there to bury his son. It just seemed like I'm not even saying that he shouldn't have went out riding or enjoyed his family or doing activities or whatever, but when you film it, it's always going to look bad. There was no way that was going to look good. Like it would have looked weird if Christina and them was out riding horses. Weird part is, and this kind of shows you the value of it, because they did show them going down a little bit because they showed them fishing as a family. They showed them hanging out as a family. And that's usually like in my mind, that's where it seems stronger rooted. At that time, that would be a time that you would rely on and need your family. At that kind of loss, I want to hang out with my people, not necessarily go out and just ride a horse. I'm going to go out and be by myself, ride my horse. I'm going to hang out with my family. That's actually a more touching, compelling story as far as the show is concerned. What you do for your mental health, that may be something different. But yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, right. Good point, Brittany. Good job, Brittany, not Brittany. Amazing. Per usual. Oh, then we got Betty Aldridge up in the house. $5 super chat. Betty. I was talking about you earlier, Betty. When Robyn said they resisted his affection, what kind of affection was he offering? Makes you think. He got wives that flat out reject him. I mean, let's be real though. It could, like, we all kind of speculated that it might be something filthy, like he trying to take the dirt road or something, like trying to get freaky deaky doing some out of bounds stuff with them that they're not prepared for. It could be something as simple as, and I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck. Just from my experience with any type of relationship, when push comes down to shove, their refusal to sleep with him could come down to something as simple as he was getting on their damn nerves, and then he figured because I'm over here tonight, it's Monday night, Robyn, maybe she's preoccupied with feminine products, and he ain't trying to run no lights. So he missing out on his good times. So he do what guys who cheat can do. Like, I'm gonna go with my option B. So I'm gonna go over to Janelle's house, even though me and Janelle arguing about money. It's my night over at her house, and I expect her to fulfill her wifely duties. I think that's what they used to call it. Fulfill her wifely duties, and I'm gonna go over there and get some booties. And then he shows up already on her damn nerves, and she rejected him. Or Christine, she wanted him to spend time with him or spend time with the kids, or some kids had some questions, or maybe he missed an event because he was hanging out with Robyn, and you think you're going to come over there and clap some cheeks? Not today, son. So you getting rejected. I think it was something like that. I think it was totally something like that, because if Kody can't tell, because I've heard folks say like, he was probably getting, peg-legged, but, or asking them to do it or whatever. But let's be real. If he can't tell them that he had premarital exchanges with somebody in college, there's no way in the world he's going over there saying, girl, I'm going to get down and you going to, take this hammer and drive it home. Like, there's no way he's doing that. Not with them. Robyn, maybe. Because, she was like my soul big, like we connected on a different level. And I could tell her anything. So I think that might be the affection he was talking about. Like, because you know how it is. Like, dude, like, all right, well, I'm in the mood, baby. But they done getting on your nerves all damn day, and you think you gonna slide up in there and get some? No. Oh, you think? Oh, what you think? I forgot what you did? You there doing all that foolishness all day? You think I forgot? Come on, baby. Let me just, a little time together. I'm in the mood, baby. Oh, okay. You think I'm what am I supposed to be? I mean, you better go down there and talk to your work wife. That's what you hear all this shit. You know what I mean? I told you ain't nothing going on with me and her. That's ridiculous. Why you keep bringing that up, throwing that in my face? I ain't throwing nothing in your face. I'm just telling you there ain't nothing jumping off here. You got on my nerves all day. Now I got a headache. I'm going to sleep. Don't touch me. How's she going to be rejecting his work wives? And more to the point, why is she mad? Why is Robyn mad? I think Robyn might have been mad because he was getting on one of them other wives' nerves. He went over there to try to get some. And then because he couldn't get none over there, guess what homeboy did? He came back over to Robyn house. Like, look, you have to put some more back time in. And she like, look, I did my time. I gave you all I had to give you on my night. That's all it was supposed to be. I ain't supposed to be with you 2 nights in a row. This is ridiculous. How come anybody? I'm always one here working. And you guys he's been rejected by these women. And what the other part of that is, he's been rejected. He tried to show him affection, and they reject him, and they flat out told him no. And you know who got to pick up the pieces after that? They won't do regular time. I'm working overtime. This is ridiculous. I don't feel sorry for you, Robyn, because this is what you signed up for. You thought it was all gravy when you got it. When you was swinging that thing, you was pleasing, bowing down, taking care of the hammer. You thought it was all gravy when you was getting your bills paid. But now it's inconvenient and it's not as much fun. Now Mr. Grumpy Pants coming over want to do the whole thing. And you got to do it because you too scared to tell him no, because you realize after watching him with these other 3 women that if you say no to him, he might actually go find something else. And I think that's another thing that's kind of bearing on her too, is that she realized that because you don't watch somebody do something like this, what he did to those other 3 women, I don't care how secure you are if you Robyn. You always got to know in the back of your mind, you're one step away from being that, because it's in him. That's not something like it's when you watch somebody mistreat like their previous people or whatever, and you find out that they've been cheating, like a guy's been cheating on his previous girlfriends. He cheated on every girlfriend he had. If you his new girlfriend, you just gotta, the only question you gotta ask yourself is, when is it gonna happen to me? Not if it's gonna happen to me, but when is it gonna happen? Because you know it's coming. Why? And if it's not like here and definite, you certainly know that he has it in him to be that person. When anybody's sitting in Robyn's position, you know he has it in him to treat you like shit because you watched him treat his other wives like shit. So there's that. Enjoy your booby prize. Thank you so much, Betty. Oh wow. There was a $39 super chat from Brittany. Now, Brittany opened his house. Mr. Alpha Male can't cook meat without burning it. Yeah, right. He's like, I guess he caveman the shit out of it. Because to be honest with you, here's something else that kind of bothered me when I was watching them burn them steaks up. I didn't see him putting no seasoning on them shits. Is it me? I didn't see him put any seasoning on that. You look around the cabinets, I didn't see any salt, pepper. I didn't even see SPG, salt, pepper, garlic, basic shit. They call them cowboy steaks. I didn't even see him do cowboy steaks. We just hit him with the basic salt, pepper, garlic. It just looked like he put them on a tray, took them out, and just threw them on a grill. I mean, you about 2 steps off of jumping on a damn water buffalo back and biting the shit out of it. I mean, what are we doing? We ain't cave people. See, I'm one of them folks. When I make food, I like to add this thing called flavor. That's what I like in my food. I like flavor. Like, I like to be able to taste it and be like, oh, this is delicious. Not just, yo, sit down. Yeah, it's wonderful. You know, I want to be able to taste it shit. I want to be able to savor it. I didn't see him with any of the accoutrements. Like, well, I don't know what kind of steaks he was making. Like, you know, I know he burnt the shit out of them. I guess at the same time, like, who am I to talk? Because when push them down and shove, if you serving up charcoal briquettes, it don't matter if you put salt, pepper, garlic on it, any seasoning. That don't even make a difference. If you're going to burn the hell out of them, if you're going to run them shits through hell, it doesn't make a difference. Hey, you wasting your seasoning. Maybe that's what he was thinking of. You know what I mean? He ain't put nothing on there but fire. He's like, the flavor is the fire and the smoke. And after the meat catches on fire, it's going to be really smoked. You thought you had smoked food before? You've never had smoked food that was on fire. No, there's a reason why. There's a reason why. Because he burned up more steaks than a little bit. That dude, and to be honest with you, them big, thick ass steaks he had on there, he had a whole grill full of them jaws. Like, dude, you looking at about 200, maybe 250 of meat that he just burned the shit out of. Not to mention the chickens, like everything that was on that table was burnt. Oh, I'm only going to cook once. And so now I'm going to eat burnt charcoal ass meat today, tomorrow, the next day, and the day after that until my mama get home. I mean, at least my dad, he made hot dogs. He didn't burn nothing. Wasn't the most glamorous meals, but it was edible. You know what I mean? That was crazy. It was like hot dogs. I think at that time, like I was making like fried bologna sandwiches. If you don't know, fried bologna is the shit. If you don't know, fried bologna is the shit. Teach your kids make some fried bologna. Probably not the most healthiest meal ever, but it'll get you through every now and again. Every now and again, I step back and get some of that get some bologna, some Oscar Mayer window, slap them on a pan. I taught my kids how to make fried bologna early. It's nice to get them used to being over the stove, flipping, You feel like you're doing something, get the little crease in there, make the little moves, little Pac-Man faces. I like mine with a little brown. It'll be looking like that. It won't be Kody Brown meat, but it'll be, like a little done, a little crisp on it, a little char. Make them Jones good. I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. But thank you so much, Brittany. Yeah, Mr. Alpha Male can't cook meat without burning it. Man, that dude was doing terrible stuff to them grills. I was like, you need to get your grill license revoked. You know what I mean? You just because you're a man, that's the thing too. Like I know there's some guys, only men cook out. Just because you're a man don't mean you know how to cook. It certainly don't mean you know how to cook out. If you can't cook in the kitchen, especially when you got a gas grill, it's just the grill is outside. You just basically got a stove that's outside. Me, I do stick and I do charcoal, but there's no way. Even if I did gas, like I don't understand why you would walk away. Who walks away from a damn grill? Who walks away from a grill? And then you have bathrooms downstairs. Like, why did you send them upstairs to the upstairs bathroom? Yeah, you guys going upstairs. The furthest you can go from me, as I have this meat cooking on the outside grill, and I could potentially burn the house down. Let me go upstairs with a house full of kids so that I can play in the bathroom and pretend like I'm Nurse Jenkins as I heal this little girl's stubbed ass toe. First of all, I don't even think he washed her feet. He just started trying to treat the scar. Like, you got to wash your feet first, ass. That's the first thing. Like, you got to get that dirt off. And then you start trying to put antiseptic on it. You don't put antiseptic on dirty ass feet. You nuts? unless you want to get a damn leg cut off. You know what I mean? That's the child that had the back problem. You're trying to get a leg cut off to ass. But then you take her upstairs, you leave the meat on there, forget about it. Like, he's lucky he didn't burn his porch down. Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, y'all go on these shows, be so excited about signing up for these shows. Bring your kids on there. You're going to wind up on a damn DHS case. You know what I mean? Child Protective Services is going to be at your damn door. And they got the damn video proof. You left your kids in the house with a whole ass fire blazing on your porch, on your wooden ass deck. Oh, yeah. I was taking care of my daughter. I don't know, man. But thank you, Brittany. Not Brittany. Then we have Jody Paris. Scala, $99 super chat. Did you see Robyn's dirt throw? Oh, excuse me. Oh, you talking about it? Yeah. Because she ran up. What she did was she ran her happy ass up before everybody else could go. So she wanted to be one of the first wife to throw something in the hole because, she's self-important. But, doing stuff like that, like I said, that messing around with people's kids and funerals. Funerals are dangerous as is. Weddings, funerals, family reunions can be some of the most explosive family activities. Especially when the liquor flowing. That brown liquor. But family reunions, weddings, funerals. Funerals, I would put it as number one. Because everybody is hurt. And what's the old saying? Hurt people. And in some cases, hurt people hospitalize people. So you do not want to be playing around, especially when you talk about somebody's child in the ground. You run up there trying to throw some dirt in. That's how you wind up in the hole. Okay? Like, we already got a hole dug. You on a trip. You go in the hole. We just throw some dirt on you. We're going to do what we got to do. Just cover you up. So go on back over there. Sit your happy ass down. Like, some things you don't want to play with. That's one of the things you don't want to play with. You don't play around with people's kids, and that kind of stuff. You get in where you fit in. You fall back. You're there to support. You're there to encourage. You're there to participate. You are not there to take the lead over somebody else's child being in the ground. The crazy part is, and I mean this genuinely, the crazy part is that if, God forbid, something were to happen to one of Robyn's kids, and one of them wives would have ran up and did something like that to her, she would have lost her damn mind. I'm not even saying that she would be wrong to lose her mind, but I know for sure Robyn would have lost her damn mind if one of them wives would have ran up and tried to take something over or do something with one of her kids. Or we gonna take little so and so down to the place so he could ride with me for the last ride. What you think about that, Robyn? This is a chick that can't even have her adult daughter, get baptized. She got to ask permission to hang out with some church folk. So you telling me that she gonna be okay with somebody throwing some dirt in some shit? If you don't get, she might pick that dirt up, throw it back at your ass. Trying to be cute, trying to get a screen time in. Like I said, I mean, in that respect, Janelle showed a level of class. I'll give it to Janelle on that front. She showed a level of class and patience that, God bless her. That's all I can say on that. God bless her. Because I don't know. Lord's still working on me. I don't know if I'd have showed that kind of patience. Especially if you shit talk my kid the whole time they alive, and you try to do something extra after they passed. Hurt people. You know what I'm saying? Because you're already mad at the universe. Like, don't get in the way of that. That's my whole thing. Don't get in the way of that. But yeah, I did see that. That was kind of, I mean, and I don't know. Maybe I'm being too hard on Robyn. I don't know. And that's the thing too. Maybe I'm being too hard on her. Because she knew him when he was a kid too. And I didn't know him when he was a kid. She knew him when he was a kid. But, he grew up with her. So she would have, you would think she would have feelings for him. But again, like most people had noted, she didn't cry. Like, you cry for everything. She cried the first time we met Robyn, she cried when she was talking about Kody coming over to her house to take her on a date. Oh, God. He's coming, take me on a date. I'm so thankful he's coming. Like, you cry for that. But you don't cry for a kid you knew his whole life, damn near, and he passed away. You don't cry at all for that. You stoic and stone face for that shit. But let it be some old dumb stuff. Oh, my daughter got baptized. My daughter got her ears pierced. She's 25 getting her ears pierced. Most kids get their ears pierced before they can talk. I've seen babies with ears pierced. Like, you telling me that, I don't know. Everybody more in their own way. That's what it is. I'm gonna leave it at that. But yeah, was that no none knee said ice cold heart. Yeah. I mean, you're a different person. You're a different kind of folk. If you're able to do that. Yeah, I mean, I was happy. That funeral whole thing affected me more than it seemed like it affected her. And I didn't even know him, and I think most of the fans, like I've heard people say that they sat and watched the funeral episodes bawling, crying, like losing their shit. Robyn, stone-faced. I mean, of course, that was like the fourth or fifth service they had for him. Like, they were taking him around like James Brown. But I mean, still, like, I don't know. That was, the families all together, and I don't know. But thank you so much, Jody. Appreciate it. Yeah, but like I said, Janelle, you're no limit soldier killer, because I'm, better than me. But back to the speak pipes. We got 2 left, and we can wrap it up. I didn't realize we were going almost 3.5 hours. We getting the workout in the day, y'all. All right. Here we go.
Yeah, I was saying it's just not sustainable. I think the other thing, I had mentioned in an earlier speak pipe about Christine getting her book. I think it's going to be a New York #1 seller, which is going to give her a huge advance. Christine is making money moves, and that was brilliant of her to do it. It's a tell-all book, like she can call it memoir. It's a tell-all book, and I love that she was the first one to get to it. Even though Mary, alluded that she will tell her story, I don't think Mary's gonna do shit. I'm sorry, I don't have much respect for Mary. I don't think she's gonna do anything. I think Queen Janelle needs to come out with a book on finances. Accounting the accountant. But I know that's just eating Kody up. And just the thought of that alone gives me gratification. I mean, Christine sat here and married a millionaire because I've looked into David Willing, so has Reddit. Like, he's been having his construction company since the 80s. Like, David Willing is a millionaire, like, multi-millionaire. He's got coins. And on top of that, Christine is, they're making coins together, and now she's got this book, and it just exposes Kody, and she's making all these moves. So I know that's just eating him up. And I did hear somewhere that he's trying to do like a...
Yeah, I do. I agree. Just real quick, because I know it's a little, the audio might be a little spotty, but she was basically saying Tanya Kata, my Phantom co-host. She's basically saying that Christine's making a lot of bank because of the book, and that's killing Kody because it most likely will be a #1 New York Times bestseller. Especially around the time that they released it. I haven't heard anything coming out about that time. So they stage a lot of these release books and movies and things like that. They stage them so that they can be awarded. So you have you try to pick a week where nothing else is coming out, and that's how you get a New York Times bestseller. I knew a guy who wrote a book that was listed on a New York Times bestseller. It was only there for like a week. I don't even think it was like a full week, but it was in that window of time he had released a book. It was like a furniture book, like end tables. Like he took a bunch of pictures of end tables and furniture or something and coffee tables, and he produced it in a book, and it became a New York Times bestseller. Now he wasn't rich because of it, but during the time that it was released, it wasn't anything else out. So he was New York Times bestseller. But I think I think that Christine's book will be very popular. I think that she's smart and innovative because she was the first one to jump on it. And anybody who tries to do a tell-all book after her is going to look like they're following her. And there's a lot to be said about being the first. And she's the first one with a book out. And these other people aren't. So I think they kind of screwed themselves. But let's listen to the final speak pipe from Tanya Kata. Miss Kata. Appreciate you calling in, leaving a message for me. But let's listen to that final speak pipe.
That he's trying to do a rebuttal. He's trying to get TLC to let him do a rebuttal to her book, like an episode where he can talk back on the attack that is on him in her book. I don't know how true that is.
Okay, nice and short and sweet. Said that Kody basically tried to get TLC to do a rebuttal episodes to respond to the book. I don't think that will go well because in order for them to respond to the book, they would actually have to talk about the book. And so he would inadvertently be giving more money to Christine. So by trying to stop her from selling the book, it's like back in the day, like Ozzy Osbourne just passed away. One of the things that actually made his career for the young folk who might not remember, but people will be able to testify to this. But Ozzy was at a concert and some came up on the stage. It turned out it was a bat. Somebody threw a bat up on stage. And he picked the bat up thinking it was fake. He thought it was just a prank. And he bit the head off the damn bat. And like he there, like all the grotesque, gorgeous, oh, what is he doing? This dude's nuts. You're probably, Ozzy was on substances. Like, I'm surprised it took so long for that shit to catch up to his ass. But, when he did that, they protested the hell out of Ozzy. Oh, he's a devil worshiper. He's bad for the kids. Oh, nobody should be able to listen to his music. We got to take him off the shelves, etc., etc., etc. That made Ozzy's career. Okay? He was already well known. But when he did that and people talked about him, everybody wanted to hear about the guy who did this crazy thing on stage and what everybody's all upset about. So people started buying and listening to his music because they wanted to find out who this guy is. What are we trying to get rid of? And with Kody trying to stop the book, all it's going to do is have the Ozzy effect. He's going to create a scenario where people are going to say, I have to get the book now because apparently this book is fire because it's killing Kody that they keep talking about it. And then if you come out with a whole special about the book to say that, everything that's reported in this book is terrible, is lie, is slanderous, I want to sue everybody because it's ridiculous that they say these things about me, then that just makes people want to get the book even more. Because now I definitely want to see what's got you so upset. What's got you twisted? What's got you thinking about this woman in your spare time at night when you sit in a room alone? You just sitting there thinking about this damn book and how you can get it off the air because it's telling too many secrets. And I want to know the secrets. I'm here for the sauce and the tea. So let's get it. So that's all that's doing is helping Christine. So if you want to put more money in the pocket, by all means, do that, TLC. Give him rebuttals. The second part about it, and the reason why I don't think it would happen and TLC would most likely turn that down is because if they did that, they are promoting something that they're not getting any money from. They will be actually promoting a project and giving free commercial time to a project that they're not getting paid for at all. And I think that would be the only reason why TLC wouldn't do it. Now, if the show starts struggling, they might give him something so they could try to revitalize the show and get more eyes back on the screens. But if the show does okay, I'm telling you, that's insane. But I know that's burning his ass up. Megatron 719 said, I bet Thundercrotch sits on that Thundercats, Thundercrotch. Oh, sits on that 2x2 patio, punching the air every time she sees the otherwise vacation photos, and she is counting her grocery money to try and plan one, but her card declines. You're right. I'm telling you, the biggest hurt piece out of all this is watching these women's lives explode, especially Christine. Like, as much as Kody wants to come out and talk shit about David and how he looks, because that's what he was saying. I thought David might be hot. He's trying to cut on David without cutting on David. But I did notice that Kody was a little nervous that David was over there talking to Robyn, because if Mama like money and David got plenty of money, then he probably wouldn't like the fact that David over there talking to her. Like, you already got one of my wives. I don't need you walking out there with two of them. I don't need you out there with two of my wives. So, but guys, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go because I got to go get something to eat. My ass about to pass out up in here. Oh, we've been going almost for 4 hours. This is no longer a live stream. This is like a radio show. Radio shows are like 4 hours, and we be doing it, y'all. It don't just be me; it be us. Because you guys are bad influence. You guys be encouraging me and stuff, laughing my jokes. That's all it takes. Next thing you know, we off to the races. But let me give a huge shout out to first. Let me give a shout out to the Mega Mods, Brittany, not Brittany, Caramel Cuties, and Lizzie B. Thank you guys so much for everything that you do. Let me get a little something. Then to the super chatters, we got Becky S. We have KM Gilbertson in the house. We got Megatron 719. We have Kitty 1838 with the membership. Brittany Not Brittany up in the house. Lizzie B. Carmel Cuties. Lizzie B gave a membership. Awesomeness. Teresa Skinner. Jody Pierce Gala. And of course, Betty Aldridge up in the house. Thank you guys so much. Let me give you guys a little something to commemorate your generosity. All right. And then to everybody in the chat, thank you guys so much for being super cool. Thank you for hanging in there with me. I try to make this as entertaining as possible. Just as a reminder, next week I will not be on air. I will have some videos. I'm going to try to prepare some videos to just schedule them to come out during the course of the week. So check them out. There'll be a lot of fun, a little something different, a little something off the beaten path of Sister Wives. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I won't be on this Sunday or next Sunday, but I will be back. That Monday, I might try to do a live. I'll try to figure it out so I'm not stepping on any toes. But we're gonna be back in full force that following Monday. All right. Before I go, make sure you guys enjoy yourselves, spend time with your family, enjoy the little things in life that you have going for you. No matter what happens, there's something I used to say all the time. Somebody would ask me, "Hey James, how's it going, buddy? What's going on? Or how you feeling, or whatever?" And my response is, no matter what's going on, could always be worse. It could always be worse. So if you're having tough times, you're having a tough go at it, it could always be worse. And there's always something positive that's happening to you, for you, or around you that you can focus your energy on. And I know that sounds hard, it's kind of hokey. I get it, but it works for me. It works for me because when you go through tough things, when you look for negative, you will find and you will see negativity. When you think positively and you look for positive, then you see positivity and opportunities. And so, as long as you're taking that step to try to see positive things and focus on those positive things, then you realize that, some of the things that you go through aren't that bad. You have 100% survival rate on everything that's happened to you before. There's no reason to think that you won't survive this next thing. One, two, when you're moving into these situations and you're going through it, it always seems terrible. And I don't know how I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to do it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But how many times in your life have you gone through something and you've been in that position where you don't know what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, if you're going to be able to make it out, and then you get to the other side and you look back on it and you say, that's not as bad as I thought it was. A lot of times that's where we are. I'm not saying people have real problems in real situations. What I find is that a lot of times people, a lot of people will over concern themselves with first world problems. You don't have the biggest TV in the world. Oh I was trying to watch the game last week. My 70-inch television went down and I was forced to sit and watch my 50-inch television like a caveman. Oh God, I'm suffering so much. This is ridiculous. And I come from a generation. I remember when television screens was 10 inches. You had a 10, you had a 19, and the big TVs was like 27, and a huge TV was a 32. Remember that? Like the big TV, the 32 was like in a family room or your parents' room. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, get out of here. I had a TV. I had a portable TV one time, black and white. It was 5 inches. So if I have the privilege to sit and watch a 60-inch television or a 40-inch television, I'm in heaven, right? It's all perspective. It's all perspective. A lot of it is just perspective and where you are in your and when you're where you see things. I got so many problems because like I said, it could always be worse. There's a saying I love, and I used to think about it all the time when I would go through things, and the saying was simply this: I complained about my shoes till I met a man with no feet. Right. And that's kind of what it is. Like, as much as you might be going through, if you have a full belly, if you have a place to sleep, and you have people around you that care about you, you have more than a lot of people. You have way more than a lot of people. And that's something to be celebrated. That's something to be, to focus on. Like, at the end of the day, we spend so much time mad about the things that we don't have, that we don't take any time to really be thankful for all the things that we do have. And that's just what I want to impart to you guys. So enjoy the little things in life. Maybe you got the big problem, but if you can find one time or one thing to smile or laugh about, you might find 2 or 3. All right. But that's my take. And guys, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody who's been participating, supporting the channel. I appreciate you guys. I think about you guys, and I want to do better for you guys and give you guys some quality content that doesn't necessarily, repeat itself or become dull or flaccid, if you will. So we're gonna keep pushing forward as a channel and as a community. But thank you guys so much, and this is for you. All right, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you, especially if you sat with me for all this time, 4 hours. Oh my goodness, what is it, crazy? But I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. That's my take. I'm James. This has been my take on reality, and I'm out. Have a great night. We will be off this Sunday. Next Thursday, we're off. The Sunday after that, we're off, and then we're going to come back on Monday or Tuesday, and then we're going to roll into a lot of new fun things. All right. Have a good one.
'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Go for a ride down the side.